Okay.
Sally saw a silly sucker sucking on a silly sucker. How now, brown cow? My man's keep too tall. What's the word, brother? What's the word?
It's all good, man. Nothing changed but the weather right now. Just
Yes,
doing
sir.
trying to do my thing, work, and talk about sports.
Yes, sir. We back in here with another sports cast with another some more sports punch. We gonna clap it up right away. We gonna clap it up right away. The Bulls got another win. Yes, that's what we want to do. That's what we need to see. So we seeing red right now. If you just happen to see this podcast, if you seeing us, we got red all over. Ha! He got Mike. I didn't know he was gonna wear that. I just told him to have a piece of red on, and if you see mine, I got that championship flavor right there. You diggery so
Yes, sir.
we in here. The Bulls won 130 to 127 the other night without it going into overtime, bro.
This time, right?
Without it going into overtime, the Bulls got the win. Spectacular performance by everybody. Of course, it wasn't a game where defense was the biggest thing to note, but the Bulls did have some hell of a bench play, and the starters did what they were supposed to do. Keith, what you think, brother?
Well, it was a good bounce back game for sure, especially on the back to back. We lost the night before against the Utah Jazz, which was shouldn't have lost that game. Had a 8 to 10 point lead in the fourth quarter and just start to nut up at the end. But like I said, good bounce back game against a good Denver West Coast team that's has
Solid win.
championship aspirations this year, which they can with this team. I'm just as happy about the way they came out with the energy and matched them. And we started off a little sluggish in the first quarter where they was up a little bit, but we was able to tread water, make some shots. But like you said, the bench, man, they came up big. I think they had like 60 something points for us last night.
I do not remember. I do not remember, brother.
It was a high number, like 60 some. They've been like low key been scoring like 50, 60 some points off the bench, like a few games while we was going through the winning streak, really. And it slowed down a little bit after that, but had a couple injuries here and there. But we was able to see Kobe White come back against the Utah Jazz, even
Yes,
though he
sir. Salute to
came
Kobe White.
came off the bench on minutes restrictions, which I like it like that. Like if you're gonna have minute restrictions, just don't interrupt the flow. Come in, get your groove on, fit in with the second unit. You can be the man. You can get your shots up however many you want. And then just ugly loss. We should that went in what overtime, two overtimes, I believe.
Hmm.
Laurie Marketing had his. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had a revenge game already, but this is definitely one of those 49-point revenge games. Like y'all really shouldn't have got rid of me.
He was looking. I'm sure he was looking at them going, yeah, y'all know I was there to stay. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So he got off. Then this guy Keontae George hit a big three in overtime, killed us. I was mad about that on Sunday night, but Monday night came back thinking I'm like, all right, it's gonna be tough, but cause I just envisioning Jamal Murray just going crazy on us every time and Joker. So, but good win. I felt like Vucevic was selling against his best friend, one of his best friends, Joker. Like he was not trying to go at him like he usually do. Like usually when you play against any other suburban player, like Vucevic, I mean not Vucevic, like the Joker. I want to say Valanciunas, maybe Serbian. He might not be Serbian, but the Euro
Eastern
guy,
European. Eastern
European guy.
European. Yes, sir.
He had 8 points, but those 8 points came in clutch at the end of the game to get us the win. Io coming off the bench, looking like he could be low key a 6 man of the year player if you stay healthy. Just keep hooping. No Kobe on the back to back, but it was just good to see Jalen Smith, the backup center for the Bulls. He's been coming along. Like I was wondering why we got him last year. He was too skinny, but he put on some weight. He got stronger, worked on his game a little bit. It gets to a point where, like, when I feel like we have a center that we're going against on the other team that's like more athletic and move around on the perimeter, we need to start him more, play him more against those type of centers than Vucevic because Vucevic can't jump over a nickel, and
That is not a strong suit.
and he moving his feet is a little slow depending on how you feel it. But you know how big men are. You got to get them going early in the game to make them feel part of the game to make you want to play some defense.
Hey man, listen here. I'm not worried about Vooch being able to jump over a nickel, you know what I mean, or a penny. What I'm worried about is can he produce a good 20 and 10, 20 and 12 every night, which, he's mostly been consistent. To go back to that Utah game, I didn't see that game, but it seems like, of course, Laurie Marketing got his 46 points to let them know that, I am one of them guys. I could have been one of those guys over there. But I think one of the issues with him when they got rid of him was his health, right? Because off and on we would see
A
him.
little bit, yeah,
Yeah, he wouldn't be healthy, and then it was like he was having a hard time finding his rhythm as one of the go-to guys on the team. And it seems like every time they had a trade or something, he was usually left in the dust as far as being a guy that the Bulls could go to. He reminded me a little bit of Kristaps Porzingis, but we saw more of Kristaps Porzingis' game evolve. At 7'2", 7'3", we got a chance
hmm
to see more of his game, him shooting from long range, and play the rebound. I'm not gonna say play defense, but he is
yeah,
a decent. He was Kristaps KP was a decent dude on defense, so he did have some decent potential there. But as far as the Bulls coming back to tonight, yesterday night, they did well. I like the way they rebounded. They came back and they got an exceptional win. That game, like you said, it was a double overtime, 150 to 147, which lets us know that they do have firepower. They can keep up with guys. Like the league is so much now about shooting and putting up 3 pointers that uh this wave of basketball in this era that we're in now, you can't leave these guys open. Like they're gonna hit shots all over the court. So we're
yeah,
looking at a total different dynamic when we talk about shooting compared to the 90s and everything. So you give that to these guys these days, in this current era. But I'm looking more for, some consistency with Josh Giddey and Vucevic, like as you did say, and some cohesion to not only just put up some offense, man, but get some good stops and get some rebounding, man. One of the
yeah.
things that we need to focus on, if we haven't, is rebounding the ball, getting some good defensive stops, and not relying on shooting so much from the outside. Let's use Vooch to what he is. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy who can hit shots. Let's make sure that we're utilizing him effectively while he is out there, and make sure that he's able to he's touching the ball, because as long as the guy's getting touched, they say that once you feed the ball to the guy, he know that he can get touches. He
Yeah.
plays a lot differently, man. You want to keep his energy high. You want to keep him involved in the game. Um, Let me go back. Did you think that having Zach LaVine was a good thing? Did you think that that would work out like that? Did you think that would get us to like a second round spot when they signed up for that deal?
Oh, the extension. I mean, not with the team that they had. Like you had to have a team that's like kind of what we have now, that's like spreading the ball, moving the ball around. I think he could have worked with this offense, with this team, the way it's constructed. But it's kind of he one of those players that you need a true point guard to lead him to help him do his thing. Like when we had Lonzo, when we was number one, in the East for like until All Star break, basically until he got hurt. Like the team was flourishing because they was able to spread the ball, but Lonzo was the head of the snake. He was the engine making
Mm-hmm.
that car go.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, everybody, once everybody see everybody else is eating, you're not really tripping about who really getting there. It's like that you just want everybody else to get that do their thing and win. So I think it could have worked, especially like when games when we like can't get a shot. He's great for like going to get it and give us, a good quick 10, 10-0 run on his own. So I think he just had to construct the team a little bit better, like, balancing off the need his deficiencies. Like, obviously you need like a point guard that's can play some defense, lock some people up, because he ain't finna do that.
Not at all.
Small forward, well, really like small forward, maybe a center that can back him up when somebody go past him, into the teeth of the defense and get a stop. So that's where I was like, we need like an athletic big man for that, or somebody that can make impact.
You need a
But
four that could cover his ass. You definitely did need another wing player, on the wing with him, but you definitely needed that point guard to be up top and could call out the plays. You need the floor general, like you said, and Lonzo was perfect for that. But
yes,
the health of that player, Lonzo Ball, brother, we loved you here, man. But it was your health, bro. When that knee went bad, it just went bad, and it was just sour. And people were waiting for you to get back and get to clicking with the team. And it's no fault of your own that it happened. You
right.
hooping, you doing what you're supposed to do out there on the court, and you giving it everything you got. But man, we really wanted you here clicking, man. That you like. you one of the things that we really liked about that team
Yeah,
watching it because you made that team go. You would to me you were kind of like that engine,
yeah,
from
definitely.
offense to defense. You know what I'm saying? You look at him, you go, yo,
That's another thing.
he playing the passing lanes, so you ain't gonna be able to just do anything that you want while he out there. Then when he's running a O, he's setting up the plays. He's getting everybody involved. If you either you getting a touch or you getting a shot, and
Yeah,
that was critical to have that type of guy, man, and to lose him, man. I hope that he does well wherever he is. I think he's in Cleveland, even though we from Chicago and we gonna represent the South Side and the East Side or in the rest of the city to the best of our ability and say fuck Cleveland, the Cleveland Cavaliers,
oh,
fuck them sideways. We gonna say that, but we also gonna make sure that we represent and say that Alonzo Ball, you was definitely one of the pieces that we salute, and you gave it energy to the city, man, definitely.
yeah. It's crazy. Like, I thought I was thinking about like other day, like low key, the Bulls got like a curse or like a problem with just like point guards to stay healthy. Like since kind of like since Jay Will, like the motorcycle accident kind of like derailed our season. Derrick Rose, ACL
Mm-hmm.
tear,
Mm-hmm.
championship, aspirations went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Lonzo playoff aspirations deep into the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, went out the window. And
I'm not gonna
then
say it's a point guard curse, man. If to me, if you want to really take it there, I think it's just a curse of Michael Jordan, bro. I think it's just a curse of Michael Jordan.
won so much and just
He left the ghost here,
basketball
man.
guys is like,
The
yeah,
basketball guys was like, since y'all don't want to take care of a dude like that who gives y'all six championships and put that team like forever, like that team is like, the city, that stadium, that era is forever known as one of the best things to happen in basketball. And
yeah,
since then, if you talking about not playing basketball, if you talking about if you talking about playing basketball and winning, we know who's at the apex of that. It's Michael Jordan. And where did he play? He played for the Chicago Bulls. And if you ask anybody around that time what they were doing when that was going on, if they know about that era, they got a certain type of vibe and a certain type of memory to go with it.
yeah,
And because, that whole situation was broken up and the whole thing with the scandal or the what happened with Michael Jordan, whatever it may have been, whether it was gambling or whatever it may have been, him just wanting to retire and try baseball out, whatever it may have been, something's in the mist. Something is looming around there where guys say they want to come here, but they never really come here.
right,
And people can say, yeah, well, Zach LaVine came here, DeMar DeRozan, and we salute them for being all-star players. We salute y'all for being all-star players and coming here and being a part of the culture and being a part of the city. We salute everybody that came here. But when you want to talk about that next level of winning, you couldn't get a Kobe Bryant here. He thought about coming here. There was a trade that was
almost.
being talked about, giving up Luol Deng and a bunch of other players to get him
That
here.
was,
There was a talk about getting Tim Duncan here. There was a talk about getting KG here, but none of that ever transpired. And I'm just saying, just because of that whole Mike thing, we had Derrick Rose that year of the signing when it was Chris Bosh, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, all them guys passed up. Carmelo Anthony, who I really want to hear.
yeah,
I really
man,
wanted
bro.
I wanted Carmelo or Bron, at the time. And I said either one will complement the game of Derrick Rose. Either one of them. Because they'll make the game easier for him, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So either one of them coming to the city, set the city on fire, and we gonna win a lot of games, and we gonna make a really good run and a really good push, and we gonna make it competitive in the East, and it's gonna be great to see with Cleveland and Boston and Detroit in the mix at the time. But that didn't happen. So all those guys teamed up and went to the same place, and I think Melo ended up in New York. But we never got those type of guys. That top tier, like we got the number two, the second level, the third level. And there's no disrespect to nobody,
Yeah.
but that top tier guy that can do it all, that can take over a game and own a game any night, every night. We didn't get none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What be blowing me is like I be hating when they be coming out like months or years later when like players like, oh man, I was gonna go to Chicago. I was
Mm-hmm.
almost there. I was
Mm-hmm.
this close. I'm like, man, get out of here. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to hear that now. like 2010 when Dwayne, Chris Bosh, and LeBron went to Miami. They was saying like, man, Dwayne was like, me and LeBron was looking at Chicago, like we was almost there, or like and some like LeBron and Chris Bosh or Wade and Chris Bosh was supposed to go, and that's when Melo he had re-signed with the Nuggets to get that contract, the extension. Everybody's like he's doing it for the money. I'm like, nah, you can get your money. But then when he had a chance to come in like 2012 or 13, before he went to OKC, that's when I was like, man, like I really that's my favorite player. I wanted him to come here. He had some all red 11s
Mm.
that would have worked perfect with them.
All red 11's crazy.
Man, they were fire too. He posted on Instagram one time. Everybody like, oh, you coming to the Bulls? I swear, bro. And we had to we went all out for him. Bro, he was like he was gonna come to Chicago, and then he was saying I don't know who exactly, but I think it maybe either Joe Kim or Derek was like, hey, but the behind the scenes stuff that's here, like the front office and stuff, Miles might not be here too long. And a couple years later, pretty much that was came to be true.
Mm.
We had a nice little second go around when we got Pau Gasol, and we had that chance to take the 3-1 lead over Cavaliers. And then LeBron hit that three against Jimmy in the corner, kind of messed it up. But yeah, man, like I can see like the Bulls. I feel like the basketball guys was like, if we get y'all 6 championships in 1 decade, y'all gonna have to sit down for a little bit. Take
Yeah,
a
y'all gotta
break.
sit down, you know what I mean, and become old. Y'all need to become old niggas for a little bit. Be the old niggas that's watching the game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is for us right now. But hey, listen, even in that type of situation where if it could have been Melo and it could have only been a 2 year deal, sign a 2 year deal or a 3 year
Bro,
deal. Come here,
you would have
man,
got
real
you
quick,
your championship in that
bruh.
1 2 year
You
deal. It's like you
something would have kicked off here for you, dude.
that's what you kind of need. You needed a guy like Derrick Rose to be on your side with to face LeBron and D Wade again, or
Mm-hmm.
whoever it was in the West, or
Mm-hmm.
And we had Powell, we had Joakim. Like, just think about that lineup, those four guys, and then whoever the shooting guard at the time was. Man, you couldn't tell me we weren't going to the conference finals, if not finals, in that year.
I think we'd have been nice, man, having Melo. And then was Derek healthy at the time?
This is
Was it
after
a
the
healthy
ACL short,
Derek?
but he was
Yeah.
still decent. Like he was healthy enough to play and hoop. Like he got to the second round against LeBron. I think it was the second round, and
Okay.
then that's when he had that shot 3 pointer off the backboard, and everybody went crazy. So
Oh man, I remember that when Todd he jumped up in Todd's arms or something like that. I was going
yeah,
crazy. I
like
was going crazy for that
he was
too.
still good. Like he wasn't like prime D Rose,
Yeah.
MVP D Rose, but he was serviceable to where he still
Yeah.
gave us,
He was a
you
little
know.
shaky, man. It's only because he was coming out that and he didn't want to fuck himself up no more. And it's totally understandable, man. He blew his knee out and he was being ginger about it. He was playing, but he's playing tender, so it
And
was okay.
he got a lot of flack at the time. I remember people was they kind of switched up on him after that. Like he like man, like because he could have came back one time, but he didn't, and then he sat out, and then
Man,
I
you
think he
got hey,
missed the rest of the year.
listen. It ain't they need though. They ain't the one that blew that motherfucker out, so they don't know what that feel
And
like, man.
and if I was saying like now when they was at the time, he was like, I want to be able to walk the park with my kids or do things with my
Yeah,
family,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
seeing that now
Oh,
that
I
he's
remember that now.
actually.
Yeah,
And we seen that now this is what he's talking about. Like this is what he exactly what he was talking about then. Like he wanted to be able to do this, be able to live life without having like health issues or injuries
yeah.
or like
Walking
some
with a cane and
preventing
all that.
exactly.
But
So
he was a young dude, man. Derek didn't know much else but hooping, bro.
yeah,
It wasn't
oh
like Derek was and it's no disrespect to you, Pooh. No
yeah,
disrespect to you or your legacy or your family, anything. It wasn't like you was like a well-read guy. Like at the time, I don't know. I don't know if you were reading books and being the most highly educated dude. Like you were concerned about hooping, and when hooping looked like it wasn't in a good spot, you was ready to bounce, and there's nothing wrong with that. He was probably thinking like, "Yo, I may not ever hoop again, ever. So let me go ahead and get out the way of this shit and let these guys do what they're gonna do because I may not be here no more." You know what I mean? Like I may not have any more years or minutes left on my career. This may be it for me. Let me get out the way and let me go. You know what I'm saying? Sit on the side with my son and everything. If you never had that type of injury, you never blew your knee out like that, you never broke your ankle or broke a bone, and you had to rehab it, You don't know what that type of fear does to you. You don't know what that type of doubt does to you. For certain people, man, it crushes them.
Yeah,
For certain people, it builds them up. It tells them, all right, you got to work even harder. So if you don't know what that's like, it's millions of people saying, Derrick Rose was soft or he was pussy and all that. No, he wasn't. He was going through what it feels like to have a terrible injury. And if you listen to any of these guys talk on any of these podcasts that they got out now on any radio show, they tell you, man, a rehab hurt.
yeah.
The rehab takes
Hardest
a
part.
toll on you. It's the hardest part. Is getting back to just being on the court. And then once you on the court, you start having doubts. Look at Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson be sitting there fucking with himself. Still, you can still tell when he out there hooping now. He still be like moving gingerly and thinking about it of the way he wants to move and get up and down the court now, man. Like you start having different types of talks to yourself. Things are different once that happens to you. So it's all love, man. I understood perfectly what he was saying. Like, look, I don't know what is left in me, with this type of injury. I don't even know if this rehab is gonna work. It's taking too long. I want to play now. I want to hoop now. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like it's grueling, it's painful, it's excruciating. Man, if you never dealt with that, man, then just shut up, man. You don't know what that's like. But salute to D Rose, man. I'm gonna say this: coming from Inglewood, playing for Simeon, going to Memphis to
Yeah,
hoop, being drafted number one,
by your home
not just
city.
by your own city,
That's a lot of pressure right there. A lot of
not just pressure, but by your own city drafted you, leading your team to the playoffs for quite a few years.
yeah. Shit, your first game in the playoffs, you scored 36 against the defending champions. Where they do that at?
Being
That's re-
the youngest MVP ever. Like that's you though, dog. So don't even worry about what nobody else is saying, man. Yeah, we would love for them to retire your number. Of course, they're gonna do that in January and everything. And
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
glad that
sir.
they doing that for you. You earned that. You don't deserve it. You earned that, my nigga. Like it all speaks for itself. So we salute you for that. 121 and 113 Magic over the Warriors. All right, boom.
Yes.
But we salute you for that. You know what I mean? Like you did the damn thing. You put up the numbers. You put the time in. And yeah, they should have brought you back to play for the team. Of course they should have, but they didn't. But your name is forever written in legacy and in history as one of the dopest players to not only come from to play for the Bulls, but to come from the city of Chicago. You did all of that, man. You played for your hometown, your home city, and you represent it. And we salute you for that, my G.
Right, forever. And that's real talk. And like now it's like I mean, with him, if it wasn't for the injuries, man, I was willing to say he was going to be probably the best point guard ever. Like if he'd have got some championships with to go with it, but just pure point guard, just balling and hooping, nobody was stopping Derrick Rose, man. Like in his prime, like there was a reason they said there was a Derrick Rose flu. Like Miles was going missing. Like I can't play tonight. Derrick Rose playing.
Who we
Like that's
got
how you know
tonight?
you.
Oh man, you up with D Rose night? Oh, my
Back Spatter.
I think I need a bacchiotomy.
Right. Oh my God.
Man, my clavicle ain't clavicing no more, man. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that tonight, man. I think I'm seeing too much red, man. Like
Too much.
yeah, yeah. Like I heard those stories. I heard dudes talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, on any given night, he do for 20 or 30 points. And that's what I love about the league, and it's with any sport, but with basketball specifically. On every night, you got to play somebody. It's 30 something teams in the league, and on any given night, you may have to go against the best point guard, or the best shooting guard, the best small forward, power forward, or center on any given night. And that's what's special about the league. But that era, that 2000 era, bro,
Yeah.
there was a lot of dogs out there trying to eat. Jeff Teague was a dog. Derrick Rose was a dog. Rajon Rondo was a dog.
Yeah.
Um, bring them up, bro.
Chris Paul. Yeah. Chris Paul.
Chris
Russell.
Paul. Oh man,
Steph
any given
eventually.
night. Say who's that?
Steph eventually, like,
Yeah, and once he got his legs under
Rose,
him, and he
right,
got
Rose was a little before them, like kind of like,
yeah.
but still in the same period, range. But
Once that
yeah,
nigga
man,
Steph Curry got healthy and he figured out that he need to put some muscle on, you know what I mean, just so he could sustain it, and have a healthy career. He was decent after that, but he was gonna be decent anyway, regardless
Yeah,
of what people say. But yeah, definitely, man, like that era of dope ass guards and just dope ass players on every team. It was a beautiful thing to see, and Derrick Rose was one of those ones that contributed to that era and represented for the city. Salute to Derrick Rose again. Bang bang.
yes, sir. But I mean, who you think is like the most athletic point guard between Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, and John Morant?
The most
Bas
athletic.
yeah,
Ooh, the most athletic point guard between Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, and Ja Morant. Ooh, that is wicked, bro.
yeah,
I'm gonna say Ja Morant is the most athletic.
I agree.
He's the
I
most
agree.
athletic. He can jump higher he could probably jump higher than all of them. I would say to me, Russ would be the most explosive.
Hmm.
He would be the most explosive, and then D Rose would be the probably the fastest. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at that.
To
Quickest,
to
fastest.
Yeah, to me, all of them play fearless when they're on the court. But when you say athletic, I would like to think Ja Morant. There's some of the stuff that I've seen Ja Morant do,
Yeah,
like some of them oops that he done caught and he done threw
nah,
it through the rim to
right.
himself. Like, yo, some of that is crazy. Some of that's just crazy work.
Yeah,
Um, Most athletic would be Ja Morant. Most explosive would be Russell Westbrook. If I had to take one of them, I'd probably take D Rose, or
right.
maybe I would take Rose. I mean, Russ. You know.
Yeah, if I had to take one, it's definitely Derrick Rose. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, it took Russ a few more years to become Russ when he was like, I think he came in a year after Derrick Rose, and still
I thought
they
they came
they
in the
used to
same year.
they it was like a year after,
Okay.
but they used to train together in the all seasons, and then once I think Russ saw what Derrick Rose take off, he was like, "Oh, I gotta step my game up," and that's when the OKC took that next step and
Yeah.
going to the finals a couple years later. But
Yeah. They said
he
they used to play ones against each other, and
yeah, but yeah, kid,
they said the
yeah,
first time they got in the gym with each other, they said it was wreck right away. Like they stepped right to each other. Right. They went back and down. And Russ was like, okay, yeah, it's
yeah.
that time.
Yeah, so then right when Derrick Rose got hurt, he came back. That's when Russ was going at his head, trying like now you want to get at him now, but when he was prime D Rose, you wasn't there yet. You want to mess with him, but definitely three point guards you could say that's like very similar in a way, but also I feel like Derrick was more twitchy, more stronger, more quicker on his first step, but Russ play with ruthless aggression, just nonstop. Like he gonna not for next what,
He got a
48,
motor on him,
48
bro.
minutes, you gonna be on you, hawking you, talking
Russ got a
trash.
crazy motor on him, bro. A crazy motor. You know what I mean? But I salute Russ as well. Man, Pat Bev, what was you doing when you cut that brother knee out from under him? Come on, you supposed to be representing for the city, West Side. You a West
I
Sider, man.
mean,
What you
shit.
doing?
That's about as West Side's gonna get. You go. That's
God,
West
dog,
Side was known
man.
for his defense more than it was his offense compared to the South Side.
Come on, dude. You wasn't supposed to do that, man, like that. Cut that nigga knee out from under him like that. What the fuck is you doing? What is you doing, baby?
Shit, I mean, if I'm getting bust, I'm doing. I'm going at you too. Like,
I ain't doing no
it's,
shit like that. I'm going at you on a hooping side or playing defense. You know what I'm saying? Or frustrating
I
you. I ain't about to
mean,
cut your knee out from under you, dude. You know, motherfuckers got to live with that for the. Hey, let me ask you this though. I mean, some people say I would have done the same thing. Okay, cool. So he's out. You take him out for a year and a half. His career stopped short. You know what I mean? Um, he's probably worth a certain amount of money. Let's say you in Pat Bev position at the time or at any time,
mhm,
and you don't know how your contract is going to be,
exactly.
right?
Right. He was still here. He was still trying to get a contract. He was still trying to be, secure somewhere. He was still being on, 12th man, barely playing.
And yeah, you a good listen. For those who don't know, Patrick Beverly come from the west side of Chicago. Patrick Beverly is one of them ones. Pat Bev is one of them ones. He is a real hooper. He was averaging like 32 points in high school, or more 32, 35 points in high school. You understand? If you understand the culture of Chicago hooping in that era, Pat Bear was a motherfucking dog. Like you put him up there, you got to put him up there with D Rose and Isaiah Thomas, motherfucking was it Nick Anderson or something like that? All of them, you got to put him up there with all of them. You got to put him up there with Quentin Richardson. You got to put him up there with Bobby Simmons. He is one of them ones. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But in the league, they need you to do something different, brother. And that's what you went out there, and I salute that. But what doing that, cutting that man out, man? What if that was you? If a motherfucker would have cut your legs out from under you? You understand what I'm saying? And they wrecked your career. Would
Yeah,
anybody be invested in you anymore, waiting for you to get healthy just so you can play defense?
yeah,
I think that was dirty, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't to say nothing bad about Pat Bear, but I understand he was trying to earn his keep. But that was fucked up, cuz. That was fucked
yeah,
up.
yeah. I mean, hopefully, right now Pat Bev is in a little hot water. I don't know
He
what,
is?
kind of a little bit like I'm hoping that what they saying happened ain't really what happened, but it's supposed like he had like a domestic not domestic violence or like his girl or anything, but so like supposedly he caught his little minor his sister who was a minor, supposedly like 14, 15-ish around that age, supposedly with an 18-year-old boy at the crib or something. So like, and that way it was saying like he had called like a charge for like beat up on somebody. So I'm thinking like, all right, he must have whooped the guy ass or something, the grown man, 18-year-old man. Supposedly they saying that he actually snapped on his sister or like kind of like got on her about that. I'm
Really?
like you don't put your hands on the boy, even though like yeah she's
She's a part of it. Yeah, hell yeah, I get that. But that's an 18-year-old man and a 14-year-old girl. Well, how you think she got in that position?
exactly manipulation, a little
Oh yeah, leaned in. Somebody leaned in on her. Somebody leaned in on her. Listen, I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to even get into that because,
yeah
to me, an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old don't go together. You know what I mean? It's that's a big age difference and that's a big mental difference as well. You
exactly
understand me? So what I'm talking about is Pat Bev, cutting out a motherfucking knee. But I salute Pat Bev as well. You was one of them ones. You definitely was. You was a legend here on the Chicago scene as far as hooping as well. And I salute that nigga too, man. But when you cut under Russ or you banged into that knee like that, I was like, oh, you dirty than a motherfucker, bro. You dirty the motherfucker. And then Russ had to hop up and like he hit the scoreboard or whatever. And
yeah
he knew it, but he knew his knee was fucked up, man. He knew his
yeah
knee was up. But salute to Russ. Salute to anybody that come back from that injury, man. That's a terrible, terrible thing. Man, Russ
yeah
came back still with that explosion, man. I'm sure he worked hard in the motherfucker, man.
true
God bless him. Salute to Adrian Peterson, man. You was a motherfucking dog. You blew out both your motherfucking knees. Had multiple surgeries rehabbed your ass back crazy, bruh, and came back and you was a motherfucking dog on that football field, boy. God, dog, man. I don't know nobody like Adrian Peterson who come back after ripping both his knees up or the tearing
yeah.
the same knee, whatever it was, and he came back on fire, fuego, bro.
Actually, this you surprised you brought him up, but like I was going to ask you at some point, but since we kind of there, I was going to ask you since you've been alive or like you've been watching football, who's the I don't keep doing the top five, but like, who's like the top 5 or 6, whatever running backs you've seen with your own two eyes that you was like, oh, he cold, or like one of the best that you've seen. Now, with me, like I missed the most of pretty much all of Walter Payton, so I'm gonna exclude him. He was, kind of 80s, late, beginning, early 90s. Saw a little bit of Barry Sanders at the end. I just remember
Oof,
him just retiring at some point out of nowhere. They
oof.
made a big deal about that. I was like,
He
damn, like,
retired, and reason for retirement was because they didn't want to build a team. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, it took,
They didn't
yeah.
want to win. Barry
Oh
Sanders
yeah,
said they didn't want to win, so I just left the game. I just retired.
yeah, just taking all that beating. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's who is my top running back. Like from what I've seen since 19, I was born 1990. Probably really didn't start watching football like that. Really around 2000. But I remember from like 96, 97. I remember like the Broncos winning. I remember the Packers winning. But from since then, like, my probably the best running back I've seen with my own two eyes from both NFL and in college
Hmm.
was Adrian Peterson. Because like I remember, I wasn't even like a big college football fan like at all. I wouldn't really watch it, but I do remember
Hmm.
watching some highlights. Or every week, I just remember this highlight of just this one dude on I think he was on Oklahoma, just running, just killing him. I'm like that dude cold.
Yeah.
Like, and then Adrian Peterson, and then when he came to the league, he just was fucking shit up. Like he was
Still
unstoppable,
that
bro.
guy. And that was crazy because sometimes they say with football, their speed and their power don't necessarily translate because the game switches to guys being just as fast and powerful as you are,
Yeah.
right? But with Adrian Peterson, when he came in, nothing changed, bro.
So it's
The
like he
shit was
got
the
better.
same. Yeah, it was just like I'm just as big as you guys are, and I'm still gonna try to mow you guys down. I'm still gonna try to cut through y'all like a hot knife through butter. And that's basically what he did, man. Adrian Peterson was still who he is. Nothing changed about him, bro. He was still the same fucking dude. He came in the league. So when you say top five, with my own eyes, if you saying that, I would say it would be Barry Sanders. Um, it would be yeah. I gotta throw Walter Payton in there.
Hmm.
It would be Adrian Peterson. Who else was fast but shifty at the same time? I think I got. No, I think I would have to throw in LaDainian Thomason too,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then who else would be? Yo, Terrell Davis was
Hmm.
cold too. He was cold blooded.
Yeah.
Terrell Davis was cold blooded. I think is there another one? That's my five right there. Or is there another one? Now I didn't see him, but I would say Eric Dickerson too.
Hmm.
He was cold, but as far as like seeing with my own eyes, bro, I think that might. Who else would have been? What was the dude that played for the Rams when they was the St. Louis Rams?
Oh, yeah, Marshall Faulk. Yeah, he
Marshall
was
Falk.
cold.
Marshall Falk was cold. He was cold as fuck. You know what I mean? And the reason why Marshall Falk was cold, and there's no disrespect to nobody, because those guys did the same thing. He could catch the ball. He could catch the ball for 5 yards and turn it into
Exactly.
2025. You know what I mean? They was
Hmm.
called the greatest show on turf at
That's a
one
reason,
point.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it was Isaac Bruce, it was him, and it was a couple other guys that they had on that team that could really get down the field. So definitely like Marshall Falk as well. But yeah, that would be mine. What about you? Who would you throw up there?
Yeah, I got I'm rolling with Adrian Peterson for sure. LT with Daniel Thompson. I definitely would remember my cousins and brothers was like all about him and just I remember watching a bunch of Charger games back in the day. Actually, I'm gonna throw in Derrick Henry. Like that man just too big to deny. Like
Ooh.
once I saw he was just stiff arming the shit out of people and just
Ooh.
running them over. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Wait. Before you go any further, I do want to say Derrick Henry. I agree with that. I also want to say Chris Johnson. All right, now keep
Yes,
going. Keep
yes.
going.
I was
Keep
going.
going.
I
Keep
was going to
going.
get to that. I was like, Chris Johnson. When you put up 2K rushing yards, man, it's like it's tough to deny. But
He
it
was
seems,
ill.
but it seemed like I don't know. It's hit him is tough. It's like it just he got the 2K, but he really do too much with it with the team. But it's a team game, so you can't put that on him at all.
Mm-mm.
Like yeah, I want to put him in there just for right now, just so I got AP, I got Ladanian, I got King Henry. Chris Johnson is at least an honorable mention right now, if not in there already. There was somebody else that I just had my eyes on, mind on. I'm trying to think. 'Cause I used to like just like, oh yeah, this is a homer pick right here. Matt Forte. He could catch
Mm.
and run, and he was consistent
Okay.
like every year. Like he was getting you 1,000 yards and like 600 yards receiving or 400, 500. Like he was an all around back to me. Like you could throw it to him. He can block. He can run. He wasn't nothing spectacular. He wasn't no like no Chris, no quick person or fast like Chris Johnson or no bruiser like King Henry bruiser. But like he wasn't no easy tackle either though. So
No, he wasn't, but he was a solid quarterback a solid running back for the Bears. I agree. He was
yeah.
solid.
So yeah. And then It's a few others out there. I know there's a plenty of them. I used to like me like Corey Dillon and stuff back in the day with the
Corey
Patriots
Dillon
and
was nasty. Oh,
Cincinnati
let me
Bengals.
mention two more, bro. Let me mention two more while we're on the subject and the topic of that. All right, I gotta mention these two guys. Fred Taylor was nasty
Fred Taylor,
as a
yes,
running
yes,
back.
yeah,
Fred Taylor was nasty as a running back. So
yeah,
I
he was.
gotta mention Fred Taylor, bro. And
Hmm.
then I gotta say Jerome the
Oh
Bus
yeah, the better,
Bettis.
yeah,
He was ill. Like he
yeah.
ran motherfuckers over 5'11", 5'10", 230, 240 pounds. Nasty out there. Like once he got downhill, he was crushing shit, man.
Oh yeah, no,
Just
he was
just
hard to.
nasty. Yeah, I gotta mention those two guys. But go, yeah, go ahead. My fault, bro. I had to mention those guys.
No, you good. Those are good picks right there. Actually, I was gonna put
Hmm.
in Jerome Bettis too. I was like, he wasn't my favorite running back, but like, I can't deny his play and it's like he just the reason why they call him a bust. That's the reason why. I think he
Yes,
won two.
sir.
I think he won two Super Bowls with the Steelers, or one at
I
least
think it
with
might have
the.
been one. I think it might be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like it was one and then he retired, or one and he came back, got it, and then he
Yeah,
retired or
exactly. Yeah,
something
there's
like
something like
that.
that. Yeah, it took a minute,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got AP, LaDainian Thompson, King Henry. I'm gonna throw Marshall Falk in there,
Okay.
and then
You said Matt Forte.
Matt Forte. Yeah, Matt Forte, just because of the all aroundness. But I'm pretty sure there's plenty of running backs that I can't remember right now that came through and killed some stuff like Steven Jackson with the Rams at one point.
Okay. Okay.
You
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. We had let's see, yeah, Dolphins, Commanders. It was some good running backs throughout the years in the 20s, the 2000s. Remember Jamal Anderson from the Atlanta Falcons?
Atlanta Falcons, yeah, he would do the dirty bird when he scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
so
was decent. He was a decent player. I salute to Jamal Anderson as well. I'm trying to figure out. Yo, a player that you would have liked to seen do more on the field, but but we didn't get to see it because of whatever it was, um, whatever
ooh,
mishaps that would happen. Can you name three?
let me think about that. Three players that I would love to see do more, but
Yeah,
because
who
of
never
certain
blossomed.
reasons, trying to think. So I'm sure there's some receivers. Ooh, that's a good question. Let me
Hmm.
think about that one.
Yeah, on the football side, we talking too. We talking football.
I'm trying to. All right, let me go through the years. Like there might be some people on the Bears that might trigger me to think about some other people.
Mm.
I mean,
I'm gonna say three for me real quick. All
yeah, yeah,
right.
maybe.
Number one, Jamarcus Russell. For whatever reason he had going on when he was drafted to the
Oh,
Oakland Raiders.
if we going that route, I
Yeah.
mean,
At
because
six
like,
foot eight,
oh yeah,
270 pounds, a guy that could sit on his ass and throw the ball 70 yards or 80 yards, or if he was on his knees and he threw the ball down the field 80 yards. Special, talented, really, really, really talented. I listened to his story, how he gave the story. He said, "Yo, they asked me to do certain stuff and I didn't do it, yada yada
hmm,
yada yada." But he said it's all on me. He said, "I just don't like the narrative that they painted that they painted about me." But part of it is his fault. They gave him a CD to study with all the
yeah,
plays on it, and they said at the end of the week or whatever, at the end of the couple of days from now, get back to us about what's on the CD. And they said when they sat down with him and they told him, did he go over all the plays that was on the CD? He said, yeah, I did. You know, so they sit down and start talking to him about it. He said, do you remember this play? He said, yeah, I remember part of it, however it went. And come to find out, it was a blank CD. There was never anything on it.
yeah,
So he was sitting there lying to them. And the whole time they knew, all right, we in trouble or
yeah.
he's in trouble. All right.
True. And no, one person I could kind of add to that, Johnny Manziel, all the hype he had coming out of
Mm,
college, and he kind of had a similar situation where they had gave him like I don't know if it's an iPad, but like one of those pads where they gave him like, hey man, we need you to watch this tape, this all these plays and stuff. And they said he came back and he watched 0% of the tape. Like you could tell how much actual time he had on the screen. There was none to be used. So
wow.
Johnny
Wow.
Manziel was definitely like hyped up so much. he had a good college career, at least a year or two. When he had did upset Alabama when he was over there at Texas A&M, I believe. But yeah, Johnny Manziel left a lot to desire. Like I feel like he was hyped up, and
Hmm.
you know he just he could have been cold if he took it seriously, but he thought he was the man right off the bat. Yeah, he went to Cleveland, which
Yeah,
when you get
and
drafted there, it ain't looking too good
yeah,
anywhere.
it never looks good when you get drafted to Cleveland unless you like a defensive player. All right, my second guy would be Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon. Yeah,
Josh Gordon, salute
he
to
would
you,
have been one
brother.
of the coldest receivers had he just
Receivers
stayed off
ever.
the weed. Which it sucks
Stay
now.
off the
Which
weed.
which it sucks. It
Yo.
sucks now that it's okay to smoke and like everybody's okay with it and like it's legal. So in most states and half the states, so it's crazy. Like he had to fight for that and get suspended and all that, and then eventually years later, it's not
Yo,
much of a
for those who
problem.
never saw Josh Gordon play football, go on YouTube and put in Josh Gordon highlights. Dude has games where he has 230 yards like back to back. Even when he got with Tom Brady, Tom Brady was like, "Yo, I could use him." He said, "Tom, you
Mhm.
can't play with him. He doesn't like he's not focused." He said, "He can play. I just need him on the field. Like if you can get him on the field, I can use him." Dude would tear up the field no matter where he went. He was guaranteed to be like a game breaker, dude.
Yeah.
Like Josh Gordon was, oh man, like watching him play. So certain guys they can get the play is subscribed is made for 5 yards. His yards at the catch can be crazy at times, especially if he could break free. Like he was like 6'1", he was like 6'2", 6'3", 220 pounds or something like that.
Hmm.
Josh Gordon was crazy, fast man, big dude, could get up the field, nasty, a nasty guy, man, nasty guy at wide receiver. That's a guy like guarding him, you could tell like it was gonna be a rough night for you. You know what I'm saying? If ever he caught the ball and started to break up the field, or if he tried to catch it just going straight down the sideline, because he was fast too. He
Yeah.
wasn't no slouch at any part of that field, But yeah, he would be a second guy. Like what if, you know?
Yeah. True. I think it's one quarterback, Andrew Luck. Like he didn't give us a full career that I was expecting.
Hmm.
Like he could have been one of the goats or greatest on some quarterback and stuff. Had he just, I don't know if it was the love of the game or just the injury. It really was the injuries. I feel like
Injuries,
too many injuries,
injuries.
head traumas that kind of got caught up to him, and he maybe the love of the game probably fell out too. But like he was cold. I thought Indy
He
had
was.
another one
He
on
was.
their hands that I was worried about as far as like I'm like, damn, why can the Bears can't get a quarterback like him out of nowhere? But Andrew Luck was a baller. He was tough. Sucked that he ended his career kind of short too a little bit.
Salute to Andrew Luck because I wanted his career to be just as long as Peyton Manning's was. I wanted him to have a career like that, get him a couple of ships under his belt, and
Yeah.
ride off into the sun. My next guy would be, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like this guy disappeared after his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the guy I'm going to name is Mike Wallace. What the fuck happened to
Mm.
Mike Wallace?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a nice little a couple years, and then fell off the face of the planet. I don't know if it was injuries as well, or he just just started dropping shit. But like, yeah, that's crazy. He was a dude at one point that I think it was around right before, or maybe like Antonio Brown got there, but he was like the main guy a little bit.
Yeah, he was one. He was a second guy to like Antonio or right with Antonio because it was like Santonio Holmes, him. It was a Santonio Holmes, Mike Wallace, and then Antonio Brown. And when you
Yeah,
put them on the field, them horses ran like a motherfucker, bro.
yeah. No, I just
Um, yeah. Did I have another one? I think I did. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but I think I'm good on that one. Just those three. Those
I
three are
want to
enough.
I want to throw this one out. I just felt we was robbed of his real prime, Michael Vick. Like, I really feel like if we just saw how he really would have been at his prime of his years, he would be talked about more, up there. Because like when he came back to play for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then that second year he started,
Hmm.
he was playing some of the best ball I ever seen that
He
man play
was.
ever. Like he could have had MVP consideration had he played only think he played like 10 games maybe or 11, whatever. But he was throwing that thing and just like
Laser,
unstoppable, like just
laser.
lasers. Like
What
he
they
always
say,
had a
put it on
laser.
a
Like
string.
in Atlanta, he always had the laser, and like I thought he was just throwing that bitch too strong. I'm like, yo, if I'm the receiver, I'm like, hey man, chill out on these passes a little bit. But when he came back to Philadelphia, I feel like he had way better touch. Like he just found a way to sling it, but still like enough to get under there to where it's on the rope,
Yeah.
but it'll come down and then ball out. But then Aaron Hernandez, sucks that what happened to him.
Yikes.
That was tough.
Yikes.
But him
And
and
her
Gronk
name, ugh,
was a nasty combination. They was
nasty
killing
combination.
shit literally. So
Yo, figuratively, we gonna say figuratively and leave it there. Like Aaron Hernandez on one side and Grunk, big ass Grunk on the other side. Them motherfuckers was a dynamic duo with Tom Brady. Like those were two horses running down the sidelines that y'all couldn't do nothing about. That was something awesome to see when you saw those guys running down the field like that. You know what I mean? Because as a linebacker, I'm guessing you go, oh shit, no God, like nah, I'm not that. I'm fast, but I ain't that fast, man. So I'm quite sure it would like. I don't want to say it this way, but they was killing y'all ass, man, getting down the field. You know what I'm saying? Like easily, two of the
bro,
biggest dudes out there playing that position, killing y'all, man.
one was smooth as ever, just quick. Other one was a bruiser, but
One was
still
just a
quick and just
motherfucking
big.
juggernaut. Yeah, 6'7",
I'm the
280
juggernaut,
pounds.
bitch.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Roar! And then just run you down. Like once he got full steam, there's nothing you could do with a guy like that. And salute to Grunk, man, because he would just take a pounding, man. I know
Hey,
that was hard on his body
hey,
too, because guys was chipping away at him, hitting him in
he
the
was
hips.
he was hard to stop. So you had to send like
Yeah,
two, three
hit
people at
his
him every
neck, hitting
time.
his legs, his thighs, like hitting anything. Like
Like I see why
man,
he
I
needs
know
to be
his
retired early.
I know his body was bruised up and aching for a while, man. But yeah, who else do you think there's anybody else that fits that category out the top of your head? Because I just threw that in there, as we talk
I mean, I'd love to like think about this more and like bring it back
in
again, but like,
depth.
yeah, because like that's a good question. Who I can think of right now? Because it's not right now, but yeah, no, it's a few out there that I really got to think about. But those I feel like those are good start offs right there, and just
Would Plaxico Burress fit that category for you? Homeboy shot himself,
yeah, but no, I feel like he
maybe.
gave you a few years, and then he won a championship, and then just the next year he just did some goofy stuff and then shot himself and
Okay,
kind of took away from himself. So that kind of was like self-inflicted literary wound that you did to yourself that it could have been prevented. But
heard you, heard you.
I mean, some of those was the same too. Like they could have prevented those situations too. I ain't gonna lie, but it just
True.
he wasn't. I think I saw enough from him to like. I don't know if he's gonna get any better than what he was, maybe.
Yeah. Do we
But
put
he
Antonio Brown in that category then?
nah. He
Yeah. No.
because like Oakland, he went there and he signed for the off season, and then he having this whole thing with his helmet and like ice. His feet got like frozen from like the little chamber machine that they be using for to freeze themselves and get recover.
The
And
hyperbaric chamber.
and then he kind of just like made too much noise, like going to like that place and then going to Tampa. He went somewhere before Tampa. I forgot though where. Oh yeah, he went to Patriots. He had that 2 3 games with
Mm.
Tom Brady, and it looked like that was going to be a match made in heaven. And so yeah, I would count that even though his years with
No, he
Pittsburgh.
was in Tampa. So he played with the Oh, he was with the Patriots, and then he played in Tampa.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, that's why he came
Damn
to
it,
Tampa because
AB.
yes, Tom had a little bit of rapport with him in New
Yeah,
England,
he did.
and brought him there to Tampa, which he helped him bring a championship. So that was like he came back, but at the same time, it was like those years in Oakland, or could have been years in Oakland, and could have been years in Patriots. You could have probably had more, but his 6 7 years in Pittsburgh,
That's all he wanted.
that's some. Like, if you look at his numbers, that's some godly stuff. Like he's one of the greatest receivers of all time, just off that.
My bad. That's all we wanted. We wanted to see him ball out. We want to see him toe tap and do all that wild shit he was out there doing, man. But
Yep.
dude started falling apart. You know what I mean? God bless him. I hope he, get the desired help, especially with what he got going on now. Moving along, brother. What's on tap? What's on tap?
I mean, we can get on since we're on the NFL. Might as well talk about some of the best games and some of the most ass games
Let's
this
get to
week.
these clappers. What clappers did we have from Sunday's games?
All right, clappers of the week.
Clappers of the week. Clappers, clappers, clappers.
It looked like Texas and Titans game, which you actually called on. I switched up last second, said the Titans might win that game, which it came down to a field goal. Like the two games that I switched up on that we both could have we agreed on, but like I went the opposite direction. Came down a field goal, so I
Hmm
feel good about that. Titans and Texans look like a clapper. Um, Claptastic, tacular.
Yeah, claptacular.
The Chargers and Jaguars game, it was one sided as fuck. Chargers, it just seemed like when you think they finna take the next step, they take two steps back. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean, they are hearing they are
It
having
was
like
Chargers versus who?
Jaguars.
And I picked the Chargers, right? You picked the Jags.
I think we both picked the Chargers because
Okay.
I was gonna go with the Jags, but I remember they lost last week off of like they was up 20 and lost. So
Okay.
like which almost was going this way too. Like they was up like 20 something to six, and
Okay.
you thought maybe it was gonna fold, but they actually held on and like got that win.
All right. Bet
But
it up. Bet it up. Bet it up.
kind of the Sunday night game, the Lions and Eagles game was a clapper to me a little bit. I
It
don't
was
think
a
it was.
clapper. That was a clapper.
It wasn't
Yeah.
as good as I was hoping, but
Mm-mm.
it got the result that I wanted. Detroit losing. Putting the
That's not
Bears.
the result I wanted because I went with Detroit. Go ahead. Keep talking.
So I got that one. I went with the Eagles for sure on this one. Um, yeah, they helped the Bears. If anything, put us in number one spot in the NFC North. It was a defensive game, really very defensive game. Eagles defense, like I said, reloaded, so they putting the pressure on these teams right now with the linebackers and the front four they got. Offense is still left to be desired as well. Like I don't know why they're not using more Saquon, but I guess their offensive line is a little dinged up. I think they
Okay.
just lost their best offensive lineman, Lane Johnson,
Mm.
who might be out for a while. So
Ooh-wee.
that'll be good for the Bears when we play them on Black Friday. But Detroit, their problem was they went 0 for 5 on fourth down
Mm.
when they could have had 5 field goals and won the game by it looked like 24, like 24 to 16 or something like that. They already had 9. I mean, I understand like, Dan Campbell's gonna be aggressive and like, that team is just, all around got talent. But it's like sometimes you gotta pick your spots when to take those field goals. Like you're going over 5. Usually that's not like them, but like that's why you lost the game, my boy. Like you can't be aggressive too much where it's like, all right, we gotta take some of these points sometimes. Especially like kind of the best time to do it is early in the game, so where
Early in the
you
game, yeah. So you set the tone, but it didn't seem like they were being too aggressive to me. Did you felt that way?
not
The
not
Lions
not
were
as
being
far as like
aggressive.
everything else. No, like as far as
No,
like
it felt like it
down
looked like they were
23.
being mid. Like they was like, all right, we just chug along with you guys. I don't know if it was a weather or not, but we talked about that before. We said that
Yeah,
Philly or Detroit, it shouldn't matter the temperature because both places are cold. Like you all should be weather adjusted to stuff like that.
the Green Bay, yeah. Nah, yeah. I don't know. That was tough game a little bit. Like I'm glad but yeah, the golf had what 255, one touchdown, which it looked, but he was 14 to 37. So like either the Eagles was on his ass or he was just throwing the ball badly. So it was one of those games you thought I thought they was gonna run it out, which they should have, but it was tough. But there was better games on the horizon. But I mean, another clapper would be probably to me. I ain't really watched too much of it because I kind of woke up late on it, but I watched the second half. The Dolphins Commanders game, 16-13 score. It's tough. Like it's like literally the Commanders like the ops just doing the same thing. Basically the same thing we did last year. Like after they beat us on that Hail Mary, We went on a 10-game losing streak.
I don't remember my pick for that.
Uh,
I think did I choose Dolphins? I don't remember.
I think you did choose Dolphins. I think we agreed on both the Dolphins on that
Yeah,
one.
because there is no Jaden Daniels, right? So I think we
Yeah,
both might have just said we're gonna go with the Dolphins, even with Tua being over there. They just expecting Tua to deliver a W and getting his guys involved. I think I said E Chain or A Chain would just run. I
yeah,
think I said that he would go have a hell of a day out
yeah,
there on the field, and Waddle may have a decent day as well. So that was my expectation for that game. I think I did choose the Dolphins, the Fins, go Fins.
yeah. So that
I
game,
represent the
this
five. That's the Fin dog. I represent the five. That's the Fin. Get money. That's just a
this
song.
fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fan.
Fifth. Uh,
Yeah, so just seeing the Commanders lose six straight after they lost to us is kind of crazy. Like we kind of role reverse season so far. But let's talk about some good games this week that I saw a few of them. Actually, the best game to me was the Bills and Buccaneers game. That game was a back and forth
I
shootout.
did not
Man,
see that
touchdown,
game, bro.
touchdown, touchdown, stop, interception, fumble. It like 44-32 was the score, but like it didn't get like that.
44-32, bro.
It didn't get that separated until the end. But like Josh Allen, six touchdown, three throwing, three running. I felt that in my
Big
fantasy because I was
boy.
getting whooped by him, so that was tough. But
Big
the
boy.
Buccaneers, they was going in. I was watching that. I was in between the Bears game and that, just flipping back and forth. Like
You had the Bills winning, right? I chose the Bucks.
I did have the Bills winning, yeah, because they was at home. And I think you did choose the
I
Bucks.
think I
I want
chose
to
the
say you
Bucks,
did the
bro.
Bucks.
Yeah, I chose the Bucks. I chose the Buccaneers because I thought they would be able to go up there because they were in Buffalo, right?
Yes, they were. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I was a goofy mod. I thought that Baker would be able to go up there and put BTA belt to ass. I thought that's what would happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let me be honest. But what also forgot was that Baker Mayfield may just be used to playing in that cold ass weather. I don't know about them other guys on that team. Mike Evans and all those guys are used to sunny weather all year round. I bet you when that breeze hit their ass, all them motherfuckers turned into Prince. They all started singing like Prince. And
Yeah, yeah,
so so Baker's the only one who's used to that type of temperature. So I chose that thinking he would be able to go in there and control the game and get those guys all on the same page and it would
yeah.
work out. And it didn't. But I ain't ashamed. I ain't ashamed to say it. I'm not
With that
ashamed to
one,
say it.
with that one.
I chose. I
No, you
chose
bet.
Baker Mayfield on some bullshit. You know what I mean? And they ain't get it. They got blown the fuck out in the third and fourth quarter, or mostly in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Josh Allen put belt to ass and he got them the fuck up out of there. Pack
yeah.
their ass up. Get out of here.
They need
Laundry.
that win. They need that win more
They
than
did.
anything.
They need some confidence for themselves. I don't know how much confidence you get from beating a fair weather team, but um, on your home turf, it does count for something. So,
Right.
that's another win in the book. And they needed that, especially with the way the AFC is looking, especially because people were projecting them to be the number one seed coming out of the AFC, and probably
Mm-hmm.
winning the championship as well.
Yep. True that. And then another game I thought was going to be legit, like a heavyweight fight. Seahawks versus Rams. You got this one on. You
Yeah.
picked the Rams. I picked the
Yeah.
Seahawks. I knew it was going to be 50, but that was a game. It came down to field goal. Like, had he made that 60-yard field goal, I would be talking about I won. But I just
Man,
wanted to see a good game.
it was a good game. It
It was a
turned
good
out to
game.
be a good game, bro.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a good game. I thought that, did we say that was probably going to be the better game of the afternoon, or did we just
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that,
I definitely called you. I was like, this is gonna be probably the best game of the day, if not
yeah,
of the afternoon, the three
yeah.
o'clock games. And it ended up actually in that one, and then like I said, who we just
It
talked
looked like it
about,
was going to be an ad, like it was headed to the ass factory.
yeah, because the Rams
Um,
was up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and it didn't look like much was happening, but then the Seahawks kind of like jumped into it, and it made
mhm.
Matthew Stafford step it up, and he was just like, wait a minute, let me get things going. But that was a hell of a game for both teams to be 7-2 or 8-2 or something
Yeah,
like
seven
that,
two,
and
yeah,
yeah, and for both of them to go out there and perform like that, and it's one of the top, both our top teams in the NFC. So this kind of like further pushes the hierarchy of what the NFC is going to look like. The NFC conference is going to look like. So Matthew Stafford, like I've always admired him and loved him as a quarterback. I think he's dope as a quarterback, and I salute him. So I was looking for him to get that win because I wanted him, to creep up into that NFC and make it look more interesting with not just Philadelphia there and Detroit there. I wanted him to, make a push and scare the shit out of some people, because he's still there and volatile. And now with having Puka Nakua healthy and a good as Devontae Adams there as well, it shores up everything. And Devontae Adams is a route runner. He can run the whole route tree. So it's dope to have weapons like that on the field.
Yeah, whoever runs to the Rams in the playoffs or toward in the season, man, it's gonna be tough. Like Philly,
Yeah.
if you think it's gonna be sweet, they probably they almost beat them in the NFC divisional round last year.
Mm.
So it was one of those games like it could have went the other way too. But it's crazy how the quick turnaround for the Rams. Like they literally just had a championship not too long ago. Kind of got rid of low key half the team, if not everybody that was on that team that won the championship, and rebuilt another contender right back. But the Rams, man, like they're gonna be tough. If for a Detroit team, for us, if we there, um, the whole AFC is gonna be tough with those two teams, Philly and LA Rams. But another afternoon game that ended up being a really good one. It didn't
So wait,
have
wait,
fireworks.
hold on, hold on. So their schedule for the remainder is on the 23rd, they play the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. This is the
After
Rams.
that, yeah, I'm just the Rams we're talking about. After that, they go to Carolina. They play the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they fly down to Arizona. They play the Cardinals.
Okay.
On the 14th, they fly home and play the Lions.
Ooh.
Then on the 18th, bro, that's a Thursday, they go up to Seattle and they play the Seahawks.
Okay. So they think.
Then they're off for 11 days and they go play the Falcons
Mm.
and then they play the Cardinals at home. So that is looking like a bunch of winnable games.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's like was that 7 games? About 6 or 7.
One, two, three, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Yep.
Yeah, so they going 5-2.
Five
Maybe,
and two. So
maybe.
who do you see them losing to? The
Uh,
Rams? I mean, who you see them losing to? The Lions, the Seahawks? Yeah.
those will probably the only out of all of them you said. I always see that. Like I feel like Seattle want to get their lip back, but
Yeah.
they'll
And they
probably
at home.
exactly. So
And they
okay,
at
that's
home.
12th man gonna be there. Um, Detroit, depending on how it's going with them, like I feel like they will have offense enough to be able to contend with the Rams.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't see the Cardinals messing with them really to get.
Mm-mm.
What else you say? You said
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Now the Buccaneers gonna need this if this is this week coming up. They're gonna need that one because if they lose that game and then Carolina somehow win their game this week, they're gonna have control of the first. Uh,
Panthers look decent, 6-5. They holding on. They trying to
yeah,
stay in there.
yeah. Bryce threw for like 400 yards, which is crazy. Like it was hard to get this man to throw over 100 to 150 yards. So him to break out like that, that was tough. But I think the Rams gonna be it's gonna be a hard get out. But they
Oh
can't be
yeah.
beat. They can't be beat though. It's
Oh
just
yeah. They
you
got they
gotta.
got they got a decent schedule ahead of them, so it looks good as long as they can keep my man Stafford standing up, and not
That's
on
the
his
that's the main
backside.
thing.
They'll be all right. They'll
Yep.
be all right. So I look forward to what that postseason or getting closer to the postseason. I look forward to seeing what that's gonna look like. Back to what you were saying though.
But y'all was just saying another afternoon game that everybody's watching that it didn't want like a offensive showing like that, but the Broncos and Chiefs game, which had a really
Oh,
good
broke
vibe
my
to it.
heart. Broke my
Tough.
heart.
Like
Broke
I
my
definitely
heart.
thought the Chiefs was gonna win that game because they needed to win that game, but man, they really lost that
That game
game.
broke my heart, man.
Yeah. I don't like what is it like? What you think is like? Because like they renegade and as strong as they used to be.
No, it's not.
They
Isaiah Pacheco, where is he? Is he hurt?
Yeah, he was hurt. I think he played, or he was either hurt this game too. But I know the last week before that he was hurt, and they had Kareem Hunt. So it's just like they just need to get some better running backs. The line is not as strong as it used to be.
No, it just looks like a team divided, and it's not to say anything crazy, like they don't want to play each other. It just looks like they're all out of place and like everything isn't clicking the way it did
Hmm.
last year and the year before. Like in the
Yeah,
previous years, it doesn't look like everything is clicking for the Chiefs right now. So it looks like when they're taking the field and they're doing the best that they can with what they have. It doesn't look like a strong defense. It doesn't like the defense is well put together. It doesn't look like everything is falling well behind a guy like Chris Jones. You know what I mean? It just looks
yeah,
like all these guys are just pieces that are there and they're just trying to make it work. I don't know football that well, so if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But it doesn't look like a cohesive unit on offense or on defense.
yeah. You can say that. Like offense, like they just starting to get their receiver. They just got their receivers back. So like you would think like, that's gonna open up the offense even more.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the line isn't as strong as it used to be. Running game ain't as strong as it usually is. Like just to get them through the game and get some touchdowns. But it's Pat Mahomes just got to do better, getting them right, getting helping Andy Reid too, like having them set right. The defense ain't as good as like last year. So think of like last year, they went 15-2, which is crazy. But a lot of their wins was like last second, kind of like the
Yeah,
Bears, like
yeah,
one score
yeah,
games last second.
yeah.
Like they got away with.
Mahomes pulling it out the fire. He did it quite a few times, like 8 times or something like that, 11 times, whatever they were
Yeah,
saying. So
yeah.
he
So
was used to certain things. He was used to that. But one thing about that is that don't want to you don't want to make that a thing where you get used to just doing that at the last minute. You want to have
mhm,
games where you put these guys away with 5 minutes left and you're not worried about them. But I understand that with a minute left, 30 seconds left, you can overcome and get your team in a winning mind state and get to lead them down the field and march down the field and get the win. I understand that. Like you need to have that. You need to be able to have the poise and the ingenuity to get that type of win. But man, it's looking like this may be the season where we just see them. They gonna have to. It looks like they may just have to take the back seat. Now they're 5-5 right now, and yeah,
yeah,
you can bounce back. But
yeah,
this looks like the season where they may have to. Yo, y'all need to go sit down, man. Y'all done enough winning. Y'all go ahead and take y'all rest, get yourselves together. Early off season for everybody, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
if Andy Reid or anybody got a remedy for this where they can turn around and get these guys geared up where they can start making a push,
Hmm.
I would like to see it because if not, those guys are going home. What Shaq and them say, they going home fishing, bro. They going fishing.
Get your hat ready. Get your fishing rod.
Yes,
All that.
sir.
No, yeah.
Get your bucket hat ready, man, because y'all may go fishing, bro.
Yeah, they could only really afford two more losses. Like 10 and
Mm.
10 and 10 and 7 get you in the playoffs usually
And
or
in that weather,
should.
y'all might be ice fishing. You did?
So let me see what the rest of their schedule look like. I mean, it's doable though. It is the way it's looking. It's doable. Yeah, they got the
Let's see.
Colts on the
Ooh,
23rd,
that's
which is a
easy.
good team, and I
Oh
feel
no,
like
I'm thinking about something else. No, that's a hard one.
yeah, they're not no jokes. Cowboys. Now that could be a shootout in itself right there. Like the thing is
Mm,
like Cowboys defense ain't as great, but they did pick up Quentin Williams from the Jets, so it may help shore up some things, but you should be able to score on them. Houston Texans,
that's gonna be difficult.
LA Chargers, who they lost to already this year, so it depends on what type of team you get from the Chargers that day. And
That could be a tough outing now.
yeah,
Playing the Chargers.
yeah, you got Tennessee Titans.
I give
Should
you
be a
that one.
win, automatic win, but you don't want to thinking that and you end up losing. If they lose
Hmm.
that game, then it's
It's
definitely
a
right.
wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap if they lose that one
Then they got the Broncos again,
again.
but this time in Kansas City. So it's always tough to lose in Kansas, like beat Kansas City in Kansas City.
And that's 4 days after they play on Sunday.
Yep.
That's that Thursday night game on the 25th of December.
And then you got the Raiders for the last game. So like, let me see. You got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Let's say, I mean, a lot of these,
Look like L's. They look like L's. They look like L's,
if they
bro.
lock in, they could be wins. But like, I see. Let's say you lose to the Colts. I see you beating the Cowboys, Texans. I feel you want to get your leg back on the Chargers. So that's 3-1 so far. Titans 4-1. Broncos. Ooh, that was a
That's
tough.
tough.
That's tough at home. That could be a win too. But like the way Broncos defense is playing, it depends. Like if people starting, if the Broncos are still starting their players by then, if they have a good enough cushion, so it could be. They can go 4-3.
I don't
They
know,
can.
bro.
I can see 6-1. Low. They can go on a run,
I don't know.
but
We'll see.
it's just some right now. They not clicking right now.
I see some difficulty ahead. I see
Yeah.
them maybe getting 2 or 3 wins, but I don't know it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they get it together around this next turn or this turn next turn around the bend. So we'll see though. We'll see though. Pat Mahomes is that guy. I do believe that. We've all seen him pull games out of the fire, of course, and maybe this is the point where he says, "Yo, I need to go take my game up to another level." And as I take my game up to another level, I'm taking you guys up with me and things just improve. We'll see what happens though, and then they limp into the playoffs or the AFC wild card. We'll see. We'll see.
Yep. And then we say the best for last.
All right, talk about it.
Bear down, Chicago Bears,
Man,
7-3.
get these
They,
old
the
boo, get
haters
these
gonna
old
hate.
weak ass.
Haters gonna hate. But the Bears are 7-3, top of their
Yeah,
division,
yeah,
sole by themselves against.
yeah.
We beat the Minnesota Vikings, who we should have beat week one, but it was literally about to be the same script that was ran week one happened in week 11 because literally we was up 16-3 or 16-6, 7. They came back, took the lead in the
Mm-hmm.
last minute.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what since we've been going through so many of these last second wins, we have
These roller
four
coaster wins. I'm
these
on
roller
an
coaster wins.
emotional
When they scored
roller
that touchdown,
coaster.
that was a fire song. That was a
It
fire
was.
song.
She was fired too. She
Yes, she
is
was.
fired.
She is. She
She
is.
is.
Haven't heard much from
Mm-hmm.
her since. That's crazy.
Hmm.
But no, yeah. When they came down to score that second touchdown to take the lead by was it 17-16? Yeah. So by one. I was like, if 50 seconds left, I was like, oh, too much time on the clock. I didn't feel nervous at all. I think we got this. This is the first game I actually feel like, oh, we got this. I'm not worried about this. You give me 50 seconds with Caleb Williams in this offense, Ben Johnson, I think we're gonna win this game. And then boom, they kick it off. Devin Duvernay ran that motherfucker back
He
to
ran it
the other.
like what, 50, 60 yards? He ran it
Yeah,
back?
56 yards, going back. We was able to get on their side of the field on the red
Mm-hmm.
zone. We had
Mm-hmm.
a couple. DeAndre Swift clutch again, coming through with the first down runs. They keep running the ball. That Johnson figured out we got to run a team, but Caleb really had to do too much. I don't think he had to throw that on that drive. Set us up for a field goal, 48 yard, 45 yarder. Now this is where I was a little nervous because like Cairo Santos missed a 48 yard field goal earlier
Bruh.
in the
Bruh.
game that would have got us 19 already to like 10 or whatever or something like that. So I was like, man. But I learned to like just like, all right, just breathe. And just think good to like keep
I
like
always remember you're rooting for the Bears, baby. You need to have your heart attack medicine right next to you
oh yeah.
when you're watching these games.
Better have
You
your
got
life
to have
alert.
man, you need to have all of that. Call your next of
Warm.
kin and tell them to be ready because you may need someone to take you to the hospital playing around with these
Like,
guys,
you might as
bruh.
well have the 911 on speed dial already.
Already,
Soon as they
man.
press
Ready to
that
press
button,
that
just
button.
yeah. But no, man, it was a good team win, man. And everybody keep talking about it. This isn't sustainable. This isn't sustainable. Like they ain't playing nobody. One, you gotta play who's on your schedule. We don't make the schedule. Everybody know.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows how it goes. Whatever spot you kind of end up in your division, you're gonna play those similar teams in that same spot around the league. And then like a couple games here and there, you might play like somebody on the outside of that. But yeah, man. But I think that's good for us. Like we're there to get these teams, the weaker teams, lesser teams, build our confidence, see what kind of team we are to figure it out. And then when it came to these last 7 games, where it can go really left or it can go really right. And I think that is going to build up our callous as a team, and it's showing to me like in order for you to beat us, you're gonna have to blow us out like Detroit Lions did, like 52-21 type stuff. Like, because if we're anywhere near a one score, no, if we're 10 to 14 points with time left, at least a quarter left, we can come back. We can come back and win that game. We're gonna be a tough bout for anybody if we play right as we should. But
All I want to
Bears,
see before, let me and hold your thought. I want to see them put teams away. I want
yeah,
to see them blow games
that's the next
open
step.
and put teams away. I don't need to see games that close. I know the defense is sketchy right now, but as a guy on offense, your job is to run a wagon, right? Lead these guys down the field and open the
Yeah.
game up for these guys. And from what I'm seeing from Caleb, it ain't that he can't do it. It's just a matter of being on the same page with the receivers, them catching the ball and making the plays that they supposed to. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I want to root for the Bears, the old garbage ass Bears. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be one of them guys, but I just need to see him do that. Get these guys down the field. I know, kicking field goals is a thing, but you know what? I even say this. I like Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson seems like, yo, I'm getting more comfortable with this kid. I'm seeing what he can do and what he can't do. And everything that he can't do, we still gonna hash it out and we gonna work on it and make sure that he can do everything out there possible to win these games. It's just a matter of him finding these receivers. I don't know what's going on, but I see that there's a connection with him and Rome Odunze and
Uh,
what's the other guy's name?
cool.
Um,
Some of the rookie or
is it? I'm not sure. I'm not
so
sure
yeah,
because
you got DJ, but him and DJ more like
It's, it's,
one
it's,
is
it,
one
something is off
game,
there, man.
and then it's not another
Yeah,
game.
what is it? What is off with them two, man? Something is right. Something isn't right where they not connecting.
Because my thing is like I'm like when he dropping back, like is it the receivers not getting open enough, or is he not catching them when they need to?
The nigga
But it's
is
like
6'2", 6'3", bro.
6'2",
Right?
6'3", and but like a bull, like a hamster, like he's strong, like he'll run you, like he like a running back in a receiving body. But Caleb's 6 foot, like I don't know if he can see over the line, like I thought he could, like he was 6'3" or something. But
We
I
can't
don't
blame it
know.
on that because Drew Brees was 5'10", 5'11", so was Brett Favre.
No,
But
true.
they made the passing lines for these niggas, the passing lanes for these guys, so they
Yeah,
could get the ball downfield. So we can't say that.
true. No, yeah. But like I'm just with that, it just I think with this offense, there is options to go to besides just one person. So like some games you're gonna have a Ron Tuesday have 100, a touchdown. Some games you gonna have DJ Moore getting all the ball. Some games you're gonna have Luther Burden, the rookie. Some games you're gonna have the tight ends, Cole Kmet, Colson Loveland.
Cole
The
Kmet, I
running
want
back.
to see Cole Kmet get out there and bust a move. I want to see him boogie with his
But yeah,
loose foot.
but
But
I
DJ
do
Moore, real quickly, he's only 6 feet tall, so that's
okay.
what they got him listed as.
Yeah, but I do want to see a 4 quarter full game. Like it's either first quarter we do good, second, third quarter we kind of fall off, fourth quarter we come back, win it. Or first quarter not that great, second and third quarter pretty solid, fourth quarter we kind of slacking, but we can find a way to win. But yeah, man, we in a good position though. Like we good position, 7-3, number one division right now. Packers behind us with 6-3-1, and then you got Detroit 6-4. Um,
Our two
next,
running backs, man, both of them are 5'8". They ain't that big. Ain't no difference in height or weight between them. One is
huh?
just shifty, the other one is just straight ahead. It looks
Yep.
like.
Yeah, Manon guy, he definitely. I mean, they say he's our David Montgomery, but I feel like he could be our Jameer Gibbs, but he just Swift is like so different.
Whatever it is that he is, man, they need to not we the Bears need to get it
No,
together so they
it's
can
we.
utilize him. No, ain't no we motherfucker. Only we I know is French, as in yes. No, don't be trying to put that on me, man. I see red around this hole. That's the only thing I see. Ain't gonna be no blue and orange skies around here until I see some consistency out these mofos. And y'all looking decent, and I like what the Bears is doing, man. I think it's a beautiful thing. But I can't be having no heart attacks at this age, bro. I don't want no heart attacks, bro.
That would make the game fun. It
No,
make you
I
like, all
don't want
right,
no heart
like make you
attacks.
like.
I'm
It's gonna
good.
keep you in the game and edge of your
Yeah,
seat.
it is. To keep you watching, keep you in. It's like to me, it's like being in a bad relationship, man. This motherfucker keep disappointing me. I gotta get up out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Out of here. But salute to the Bears. Keep on going though. I ain't want to mess you up or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
no. It's pretty much wrapping up with that. But like, we got the Steelers this weekend on Sunday. There's supposedly Aaron Rodgers had a slight break in his wrist, his non-throwing hand. So they're saying
So he
that
can still play.
he can still play, and I kind of want to put it into him. Honestly, like I want us to break his wrist and like get him up out of there, but I
Hmm.
don't want to have I don't like to wish injury on no one. So that's like I want us to be able to beat them with everybody healthy. So if he do play, great. I want to see how we play against a
But
team with him.
while he in the game, you want them to smash his clavicle and get him out of
I
here.
want us to do like we did with
Send
Brett
him into
Favre.
yeah, you send him in retirement. I hear you. I hear you.
So that's one. But like I just want to have us go out there, and come out clean for both of us, and get the win. Because that's like if we can get this win and go 8-3 on Black Friday, we played the defending champions Philadelphia Eagles, who's been giving hell to our last two divisional rivals, Packers and the Lions, who they just beat back to back. And I was saying that the Eagles fans online and the Bears fans online had an alliance to help each other out by beating their rivals, which they
Mm,
all did. So
mm,
we went 3-0 against their rivals. They went 3-0 against ours. So this alliance is about to end in about a week and a half. So
mm.
I just need to see a good game from the Bears. I hope we don't get blown out. But if we close in this game and we just show some type of
Bro,
fight, I'll be happy, seeing that.
this is a game where the Bears can easily just win this game, man. This is a game where they should be able to
Like,
run off with this game.
should it just like the way the Eagles offense, the defense been playing.
I'm talking about the Steelers game.
Oh yeah, still yeah, it should. But the thing is, like in the beginning of the season, the Steelers defense low key was like trash. But now they've been playing real well, and the offense has been kind of slacking. So it's like we need to like just play both sides on both ends and like take this serious. Like just assume Aaron Rodgers is gonna play, but be prepared for Mason Rudolph as well though. That's what happened last time. We assumed Lamar Jackson's gonna play, but end up being Tyler Huntley. So you gotta be prepared for both of them. We at home, I feel like we should win this game. We'll win this game, but something about Aaron Rodgers just love to play Chicago Bears. So
Yeah, he said he
we'll
owns the
see.
Bears. Remember? He said, I
Record
own
wise,
y'all.
yeah, he do, but
I own y'all. I own y'all. Y'all do nothing around here when I'm in town. Y'all trash.
he got lucky on some games, but I ain't
Yeah.
trying.
He said
But
every time he come to town, he come to hit his clap cheeks.
yeah, so we got a tough schedule down the stretch. This is where we're gonna see if we really real or not, and if we're gonna make the playoffs. And we got we 7-3. We need at least 3 wins to be somewhere at least in the ballpark. But the way the NFC is playing, I feel like we need four to get 11 wins. So if we can go 4 out of 3 in the next seven, great.
Let me look at
We
the schedule. What's the schedule looking like for the Bears? Let's talk.
got Steelers, Eagles, Packers right off the bat.
Mm.
And
All
then
right,
we
so
got
Steelers, let's Eagles, that's gonna be tough. The
tough,
Packers, that's gonna be tough. The
tough.
Browns,
Should be a dub.
then we
We'll
go
be we'll
back
be
for the
going we'll be
Packers.
going to that game.
Then they go back to the Packers, right? Well, the
Yeah.
Packers come here.
So that's my thing. Like with the Packers, we going 1-1. I see it.
Okay.
I don't know which one it's gonna be. I would love for it to be in Lambeau, but I feel like it'd be probably better if we just win at home because I don't want to lose at home. But shit, we could pull off both. That'd be great too.
And then they go from the Packers, playing the Packers to the 70, the 49ers.
hmm And then Detroit, last game of the
And then
season.
Detroit is the last game of the season. They got a hell of a schedule on that last end.
Yes, it
They got a
is.
hell of a schedule. So
But
I don't know if they're gonna fight these if these fights gonna be a dog fight or if they're gonna win them out
Oh, it's
clear
gonna be
cut.
definitely
But
dog
they look
fight.
like dog fights to me.
Yeah.
Like dog fights.
It could like the NFC North champion could come down to the last game of the season.
I don't want to do this. No. No. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm a support from a distance. You know, Bears, get y'all shit together and get these games, man.
Yeah,
Get these games. Y'all looking decent. 7-3, sitting on
yes,
top of
sir.
the division. But you always gotta know, Lions are on their way, and the Rams ain't too far behind, brother.
That is true. That is true.
Philadelphia's they sitting there. They doing their thing. So
So yeah, but we also got confirmation that your boy Jake Paul is fighting
bruh,
Anthony Joshua
bruh.
in the
It
American
has been confirmed as of
shit
earlier
this morning.
today, this
Yeah,
morning, around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning, that Anthony Joshua will be fighting Jake Paul December 16th or December 20th. I forgot what day it is. It's a fight that I spoke on the last podcast. I said it would be great to see him do that because he would actually test himself. It's to show if he was really that type of dog. And I
yeah,
said he may or he may not do it. I didn't think he would take a fight like that. But he's stepping up and he asked, I'm sure he asked that guy to do it. But here's what I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna make no excuses for nothing, but I can see the play. And I'm only looking at it from Anthony Joshua's way. I'm only looking at it from this way because this is just the way I see it. All right.
yeah,
Anthony Joshua is taking his fight in America because he know he's gonna make a lot of money, right? You stand to make a lot of money with this fight. If it's Netflix or if it has anything to do with Turkey Al Sheikh, right?
yeah.
You stand to make a lot of money with this fight. Boom. I don't even know if Anthony Joshua fought at all this year. And if he did, it's not even memorable, whether it was a win or a loss. So this
Mhm.
is to me, if this were me, I'm coming back to fight this guy as a light touch. You are no threat to me. Yeah, you've been working out, you've been working real hard, but you don't have the same grind and the same record as I have. I got 25 wins, two or three losses. Now I've knocked out 19 or 20 of the guys on my docket. Everybody you fought, people only remember them for what they used to do. Like all those guys are old and played out. So you're coming back as a light touch to me,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And as a light touch, I'm getting paid 30, 40, 50 million to fight a guy that I don't have to worry about. Now, on the other hand, for Jake Paul, he might be like, yo, this guy gonna take me lightly. He about to make 40, 50 million dollars. He gonna end up taking me lightly, and I'm gonna sneak one in on him. You know what I'm saying? And because he may be chinny now because of the fights that he had, some of the fights that he had, he may be chinny now. I catch him with the right punch. I may make this an interesting fight. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yep.
we'll see how it plays out. You know,
Yeah.
it's also about positioning yourself in situations like this where you can, if you do get a win, you can position yourself to be closer to a championship fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
For sure.
I just see it as one guy trying to test himself out, or he may know some information about AJ, and he may say, "Yo, let me get this guy. You know, if I play this right, either I can be in this fight or I can win this fight." And then for Anthony Joshua, yo, this is a payday. I'm taking this as a light touch before I kick off 2026 with some big fights that I've always wanted or that the people want. One of those fights being Tyson Fury, trying to get back into the a fight position with Alexander Usyk, not Usyk, and then
Mhm.
trying to fight a guy. Maybe you end up fighting Fabio Wardley or something like that, or Joseph Parker or something like that. So those are the fights I see on the horizon for AJ, unless there's a guy that I miss. But I see this being just a touch up, man. It's a light touch. Me going in here, I'm gonna jab him, I'm gonna break him down, and I'm gonna just beat him up and let him get some understanding of what it's like to actually fight against the guys at the top of the list. I don't see this as a situation where, you know, Anthony Joshua will at any point be in jeopardy during the course of this fight unless he somehow loses focus, which can happen.
Yeah.
Is what they may be waiting on. You know, you're gonna take your eye off the prize. You're gonna be lazy, and I'm gonna crack you. Like I'm gonna catch you while you least when you least expect it. So, but the fight was made, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Do I really want to watch that fight? No, not at all. The fight that I will be paying attention to is if you tune in this weekend. David Benavidez will be fighting Anthony Yard.
Okay.
Devin Haney will be fighting Brian Norman.
Oh shit.
I forgot that whole card, but Abdullah
It,
Mason, the
also,
young up and coming prospect from America, will be fighting Sam Noakes
oh,
from overseas.
that's all on one card this
That's
weekend.
all on one card this weekend.
Pay
So
per
if,
view,
huh?
pay per view or the zone.
Um, it's on the zone. So if you got the zone, you can tune in. Um,
That's
or
your way. Yeah.
however it is that you plan on tuning in to watch it, you
Right.
know, enjoy
It's
yourself. Because I'll be at home tuning into the zone, watching it. You dig what I'm saying? I'll be
Saturday.
watching, huh?
Is it
This
Saturday?
Saturday, November 22nd, right? That'll be November 22nd, this Saturday. I expect, and because we're talking about boxing, if you want to know what I think this would be a great fight for Anthony Yard and for David Benavidez because this will be two dogs who won't back down. This is a main event fight. This would be the two guys who do not back down from each other, and it should be a great fight. But in the end, I believe that the guy that I like the most, El Monstro, David Benavidez, the
Hmm.
monster, I believe that he will just overwhelm Anthony Yard with the volume of punches and he will just beat him up. And he may either get a stoppage or a knockout because that's what David goes for. And if you know anything about David, he's been fighting championship caliber guys. He didn't have the best amateur record because he didn't do a lot of amateur fights. He had about 10, 15 amateur fights. But
Yeah.
since he was 15 years old, if you listening and you want to know, he's been sparring a guy named Gennady Golovkin for since he was 15 years old, and he was around 220 pounds at the time. He was a fat kid trying to get in shape,
Hmm.
and he ended up fighting one of the what they call one of the best guys in his era, which is Gennady Golovkin. Um, and at 15, 16 for you to do that, that says a lot. And from what I understand, they weren't just sparring, like they were really trying to hurt each other in those sparring sessions. So as he got older and he got better, they said Gennady would ask for him to come to the gym so he could fight him, you know what I mean, and teach him stuff. So I'm expecting David Benavidez, who has a crazy all arsenal and array of punches. He can throw just about every punch in the book. I'm expecting him to put on a hell of a performance. I'm expecting Anthony Yarde. He may catch David with a couple of shots. He may even put him down with that right hand. But it should be a hell of a fight. Uh, I'm going to pick. So I said Brian Norman would beat Devin Haney. Logically, if I tell you all, if I say that to y'all, if I'm thinking logically, I say this: Devin Haney is a hell of a boxer. He's a tactician. He's technical, and this is a fight where Devin isn't losing as much weight as he did at 135 or at 140. So at 147, I'm sure he's quite comfortable. I
Yeah.
believe that Devin will work behind his jab to keep the fight neutral and keep the guy on the string. He will keep him on a yo-yo and go after and keep the guy uh keep the guy's hands to himself and just outbox him. He'll move. His last fight against Jose Ramirez was a stinker. That was a
Hmm.
cheek clapper. That fight was ass. It was mainly like that because Ryan Garcia had knocked out Dev the fight before, so
Yeah.
he was kind of leery about running in there and fighting guys. So he was on his bicycle the whole fight with Jose Ramirez because Jose is a puncher. And that's what he does. He walks you down and he beats you up.
You
This is a return to that. This is a return to that. Not only because it's a guy that walks you down, but he also fought. Not only did he fight Jose Ramirez, but he fought Regis Prograis, who was a southpaw who does the same thing. But Regis Prograis is more of a southpaw. And he's not as explosive as Brian Norman is. But I'm picking Brian Norman in this fight because I think Brian Norman is a more explosive type of fire, and he's not just flat foot, but he can move. So
okay.
I'm picking him to walk Dev down and beat Dev up, which is just me. But if you know me, you know that I normally go with a guy that is like Dev, who's a tactician. He's a boxer,
Yeah.
but I'm picking this guy to upset him. So I'm going with Brian Norman. Um, the fight with Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason, I think that's going to end in a knockout. I think, and this is Abdullah's first 12-round fight, which could say a lot for him.
Yeah.
He could end up in trouble in this fight against Sam Noakes, but I'm going with Abdullah to knock this guy out in around in nine, 10 rounds. It shouldn't go no more than 9, 10 rounds. So
All right, yeah, check that out. I got a dinner to go to with from one of my friends' birthdays, but hopefully by we wrap that up, I can catch those fights at the end.
you should be able to, man. It should be a decent card. You should
Yeah,
be able to get home and get around to that. I'm trying to look up the card right now as I'm speaking to you. But
yeah,
for those who wanna check that out, it should be a hell of a card. So yeah, the other fight, is Bam Bam Rodriguez versus Martinez. That's gonna end in a knockout too. I think Bam Bam is gonna win that fight. That fight is probably gonna go 9 to 10 rounds, and Bam is gonna break him down. Matter of fact, that fight may go between 6 and 8 rounds, if not sooner.
yeah,
But that fight won't go the distance. That's a banger as well. So that's a hell of a card that they got for November 22nd, this weekend. They call it the Night of Champions. So you can buy that fight on the zone. And yeah, it should be a hell of a fight. Should
yes,
be a hell
sir.
of a fight.
All right, I'm gonna check them out. Quick little news.
Hmm.
LeBron James is making his debut tonight from injury. He had something with his eye. Yeah, he's come back to LA. Hopefully, he won't mess up their flow of their team. I feel like he needs to take a seat back to Luca and Austin Reeves, and
Which
they
is what he
already
wanted, though, right? That's what he wanted. He wanted to take a
you would
back seat when he
exactly,
had Anthony
especially for
Davis.
4-year-old man, especially. Yeah, you're right. But they're down 16-7 already, so he probably flipped the floor already. But no, just you got to throw LeBron out there. He's back tonight, so we'll see how that goes. I think he could mess their flow up if he don't come in and play behind those guys. Did you see Jamar Chase spit on Jalen
I
Ramsey?
did see that, and he did actually spit. Jamar Chase, whoever that was, who was that he spit on? He did actually spit
Jalen
on him.
Ramsey.
He spit on Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey responded with a couple of shots to the helmet.
Yeah,
Um, Disciplinary action needs to take place in a situation like that because you spit on another human being. And
which is
as we all know, that's disgusting. And it means that I have no respect for you at all, right?
most
If I spit on
disrespectful.
you, right? So in that situation, me spitting on you means that if I don't get you now, I'm probably going to get you later. And if I don't do it, we all know how football is. Football is a team sport. You never know what could happen to a guy while you out there on the field. All right, I'm only saying that just because of what I know and what I've heard. You don't want to do nothing like that, and then the guy, something bad happens to you. If it were me, somebody asked, well, what would I do? So, if you were to ask me what would I do, I would be at your locker room or at your car.
Yeah, that's definitely a violation. Like that's the most disrespectful thing you can do to another human being. And like I said, it's showing you have no respect and it's dirty as hell. So like
Hmm.
I kind of lost a little respect to Jamar Chase. He actually one of my favorite receivers in the league right now. But to do that, come on, dog. Like you can't be doing that. You are one of the leaders on the team. And you know Jalen Ramsey, he's known for trash talk. He's known to be up in
That's
you
what
and
he
like
do. Jalen Ramsey trash talk. That's part of his game.
like Draymond Green, like he doing it to piss you off, to throw you off your game, and you know exactly what he did. And another reason why I lost respect for he went there and did ask me like, did you spit on him? He's like, I ain't open my mouth to that man. I'm like, oh now, which I mean, don't snitch on yourself, but the standard is like, come on, dog. Like we got HD 4K cameras that can see
Everywhere.
every
Everywhere.
single
And some of these cameras are picking it up at 100 frames per second, 60 frames per second. So when they zoom in, they literally see a glob of spit come out of your mouth onto Jalen Ramsey.
yeah
So it wasn't like you did like a little bitty spit at him, like you did a glob of it and you pull right on him.
yeah.
So,
And
if it were me, if I was one of those players, I'm 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, 290, you're gonna see me in the locker room.
Yeah, and for Jalen Ramsey, like not nothing, he's like a crash out or anything, but he had a lot of restraint. Like he did give him a couple boot pops,
Yeah, he
but
hit,
like
he hit him with a
it could
couple
have been worse.
blows.
I feel like if he really wanted to mess him up, he could have tried, and that would be a good fight to have to see Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey. But lost a little respect to that for Jamar for that a little bit. But you know they suspended him for 1 game. I mean, it's probably his first offense, so I can see why it's only 1 game because they already had that early in the year when Jalen Carter from the Eagles spit on Dak in the first game of the season, and they gave him 1 game. So it makes sense that just Jamar's first offense as far as actually doing something crazy or weird or non sportsmanlike. So one game is cool. Hopefully, he won't have to do it again. But the season for the Bengals is
Have to
probably
do it. Shit, he
is,
shouldn't do it.
yeah. So exactly true. So, but I have a story. So I remember one time, and this is one of those like situations like, what would you do? Because this is involving a girl and a guy. So like, I remember I was getting on the bus. I was going to DePaul, going to school. We get on the 6 bus.
Hmm.
I get on 51st, and I hear like nothing really was going on actually at the time. So we get to like 47, about to hit Lakeshore Drive. So I just hear like a lot of commotion. I'm in the middle, like kind of in the middle, and I hear in the back it's like this girl who was like lesbian chick, butch looking, woman, was with this is a black girl at that. She was with a white girl, thick white girl. I guess that was her girlfriend.
Hmm.
It was this older cat, older dude, probably like 40 something, all blue jean jacket, blue jean pants on, just to let you know where he at, kind of guy. And I guess he must have tried to holler at the girl or something, because the lesbian chick, the butch girl, just started going off on the bus, like cussing the man out, like just roasting the man, treating the man, calling him all types of b word bitches, hoes, like treating the man. So in the beginning, like you thought it was just like a little roast session, like Moses just kind of laughing at it a little bit, going in, and but she loud, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, so you waking motherfuckers up. Everybody like, man, shut up, like
Yeah.
chill out, like we
Right.
trying to
We
go to
going to
work.
work, man. Shut up.
Yeah,
It's too early for that shit.
but she snapped on the man, like, fuck you, don't try to talk to her, like all this stuff, trying to just like get on the man. So, but she was roasting the man too a little bit, and I guess like she caught me laughing, and she was like, "Who's that? That's your friend? He over there laughing?" I'm like, girl, like you don't want these problems. But I'm like, you know what? I'm like, focus on him. So this is where like it gets tricky. So we get to like what Michigan and like Jackson. I'm about to get
Hmm.
off actually.
Hmm.
So the girl still cuss for that whole time be from 47 in Lake Park all the way to like Michigan and Jackson, roasting this man, killing this man.
Mm.
So she about to get off the bus with the girl, and she get off where the back of the bus with the doors open up, and right when she was still talking to the man, and she was like, "Do something, do something." While she hawked up some spit and spat at him right in front of like in his face. Bro, when I tell you everybody on that bus was like, "Oh my God." Like what, like no one wants to no, like a real man, you shouldn't hit a girl, touch a woman at all.
You're not
But
supposed to, but you're telling me that you don't have no respect for me, even as a woman. So I
so
got you.
this is the one time I think everybody on that bus was like okay with him even putting hands on this. Like even like maybe like not even maybe hitting her, but like grabbing her or something like, hey, like
Shaking the shit out of her, slamming it
you gotta do
yeah,
something.
slamming it on her
Everybody was
face.
like, oh my God.
Hmm.
I was
He
like,
should have.
ugh. So he get up. She's like, come on, let's go. Like, you want to get down? I don't know if they was ready for that. That man, he clocked the Bush girl, bopped her. She, went back one good time. The white girl tried to help. He socked her one good time. She stopped. She retreated. She's like, oh, I'm good.
She knew her
I'm
place. Yeah.
straight on
She said,
this.
yeah, that's a punch. I never
And
been
then
hit like that.
and then like two guys came out of nowhere, like breaking it up, like trying to like stop, man, like stop hitting her. I'm like, but everybody like, man, you ain't see her just get
Yeah.
spit on by this
She spit on
girl.
him. Yeah.
Like it's just one of those situations. Like this girl, like especially like lesbian butch dyke girls, they forget that they are
You
girls.
still a
Like,
woman. You are still a woman.
and not
Ladies,
saying
you are still a woman. It don't matter what pants you put on, what fitted cap you put on, what t-shirt you put on. You're still a woman. And a man not only has a potential, but he has the ability to beat shit out you aggressively. Always remember that. You are still a woman.
yeah. So that's one of those which situations where, like I said I never hit a girl, but that might be the only time where I might consider doing that shit.
Yo,
If it was she spit on me like
yeah,
in my face or just
yeah.
anywhere.
Unless you box, you're in MMA, you do
Right,
jiu-jitsu
exactly.
or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, Mind your manners. And even to the women that do those sports. I'm sure you realize when you in there rolling with a man and you boxing or sparring with a man, you feel that. You
Yep.
feel that? It feel different. And
Yeah.
if they and I know a lot of guys say, yo, I be holding back. I don't go full,
Yeah.
full speed or full force because, it'll fuck them up. But trust me, if a dude really wanted to, man, like he could cause you if a man really wanted to, he could cause you a lot of problems. It don't take much because it's called aggression and it's
Yeah.
testosterone. And for a man that get him going, especially once he connect like he did,
Yeah.
once he connects, it's like, all right, cool. So now I can do this. Like I know I can do this now, and it
Yep.
can all go downhill after that.
Yeah.
Salute to the brothers that broke it up. But y'all, that would
It wasn't brothers, but okay.
they broke it up because they didn't want to see anybody get hurt, and then there'd been another situation where it's probably black on black crime, right? So I get that. Like you don't want to see that happening, but she spit on that man. She spit on that man. So
No remorse. Like
yeah,
you already ridiculed the man for 15 minutes on the bus. Like you already maybe,
This,
let's
look, look,
remember.
this is what I always say, and I hate. I'm sorry. I hate or sorry. I'm cutting you off, but in
No, yeah.
situations like that, you always know that the person who's either talking too much or doing shit like that, they ain't never had their ass whooped.
Mm-hmm. Wolf tickets.
They sell a lot of those, a lot.
Mm-hmm. True. So that's one of those situations like, damn, what would you do? And like, I definitely had to put the girl in the headlock at least. Like something like
Hmm.
that. Like, figure fold, something like in that
Oh,
bitch.
she would have got a spine buster if it was me.
Rock bottom or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, spine buster, straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah, the Goldberg suplex or
Yeah,
something.
something. Cause you need to understand how it feels to me for that to happen. Like
Yeah,
I need to return the favor of disrespect. You need to understand what this feels like. You
yeah.
understand? So I need to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what that is.
What manhood is and like, hey,
Yep. Because they keep forgetting like you're a woman and I'm a man and your womanhood isn't validated by my manhood and my manhood isn't validated by your womanhood. And
exactly.
when you cross them up, somebody gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
Somebody gonna
true.
get hurt. And for me, I tell people all the time, like I try my best to refrain from hurting people,
Yeah,
especially women, because once you cross that line, they don't really understand what that is.
exactly. True.
They don't really understand. Like in the words of one of my homies, women want the responsibilities or the duties or to be able to do the things that men do,
Yeah,
but they want to be treated like babies and children with gloves on when they mess up and they're in the wrong. And that ain't how it works. Over here
yeah,
on the man side, we get ridiculed, punished, and ostracized and judged for the things that we do wrong every day. That
yeah.
don't
And
happen to you all.
yeah, no, and it's kind of I have actually reading earlier, so this might be another episode talk about this. Like this is this whole thing like online. This like right now, like this whole man versus women, like well, why women feel like guys are becoming more sensitive and more feminine, and a lot of guys feel like a lot of girls are getting more masculine and more like I said, independent or just not relying as much on us. But like it's this conversation where like a lot of women feel like women. I would say this: men can't tell how a woman to be a woman. Like they can't tell what the woman life is or what they go through. But a woman can't tell us anything what a man go through and what they do. So it's a conversation where it's like women feel like men don't go through nothing. They feel like we got it simple. Like they go through way more than us.
Yeah.
I feel like it's equal on both sides. Like we both can go through something we both can't understand. But it was like when I hear next time I said when I hear a girl like say like Girl, girls go through way more than the men. What y'all go through? I'm gonna point them out. Like this is lady named Nora Vincent,
Mm-hmm.
who was a writer, book writer with all that. She actually did an experiment where she went undercover as a man for 18 months.
Mm-hmm. I know about this. I heard about this. Go ahead, tell the
Yeah.
story.
And just like she, just the psychological things behind it, and just meeting other women or, male to male companion friends and all that stuff, and just
Mm-hmm.
regular life as being a man, seeing what it takes to be a man, what they go through.
Mm-hmm.
She
And
said
what
she ended up.
happened, Keith?
And so before the end, she was actually came out and said, guys go through a lot more than we think, and like that. we don't voice it as much. We don't put it out there as much. But come to find out, she ended up committing suicide because of it.
Wait, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she committed suicide. I thought she just went back to being a woman.
Yeah, she went back to being a woman, but she ended up going to a deep depression after that.
Wow.
And going through that process of the 18 months, she said that helped led to that. Like she just couldn't switch back the mental state of like, all right, what she been through as a undercover man,
Being an undercover man.
and then what she
Seeing
was
how
as
men
a
have to pay
this
bills, the way they get treated.
the mental everything. Like you gotta be the protector, you gotta be the provider, you gotta
Yeah.
be able to think for, cause like let's be
You
real,
have to
like
take you have to take judgment all day, every day. You got to be ostracized and act like none of it is bothering you. And
yeah,
then get up and go to work and be a family man, be a cousin, a brother, all
exactly.
that. All that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like, it's tough. Like, but I was like that gave me like, hey, read that and like, hey, if this woman went through 18 months as a man
She
and
went
ended
through
up like
18 months of that
18
undercover.
months undercover, after she was done for like a couple years, she was like wrote other books after that,
Hmm.
and still was like, suicide, which is
And she
crazy.
killed herself.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm not saying that women don't go through nothing. I'm just saying like we guys go through as much as women do, if not more. But we both go through something. Like I feel like with the women, it's like more emotional and physical things
Yeah.
changes. But
Yeah.
but they
I'll also say this. The thing about role reversal or this thing it becoming a phenomenon is only happening because they want to keep shit happening. They want to keep people confused. When I say they, I think it's a systematic thing where they
Mhm.
introduce these type of things to you to mess with your mentality, and they screw up a certain type of person or
Yeah,
certain groups of people because they know that they can fool certain types of individuals, and um, they keep the fires lit, right? They keep people off balance. They keep people confused about what
yeah,
they're supposed to do. But when you think about it, if you believe in God, you would know that God created two genders, right? So that's all he created. Whatever happens in between there happens in between there. But though your role as a woman is your role as a woman, and my role as a man is my role as a man. I'm not saying that you can't have a job that pays you well, or you can't be a doctor or a lawyer or anything. But I'm just saying when you cross over here and you start trying to be aggressive and choose to be forceful, if the man doesn't move out the way or try to get you out the way by de-escalating and he shows you force, you kind of putting yourself in a position to be met with force, and you have to gonna end up having to deal with that.
yeah,
Always know your role, always know your position. You know what I mean? You're still a woman at the end of the day. No matter what you think, you're still a woman. And it may not be that guy, but a guy may have heard about that. And there are guys who are looking for that because you did it now. You done crossed over into that lane,
yep,
right? So there are guys who are watching that and they're looking for like, I dare you try with me, or they want it, or they'll push you. They'll push you. There are guys who will
yep.
push you for it. So um, just know to stay in your lane, man. We appreciate women. We love women. We appreciate the femininity. We
Respect,
appreciate the softness, the rose petal effect that you guys have, the
raised by a
blossoming
single
effect.
mother.
We love it. You know what I mean? We appreciate that. It's crossing over into being again. You never hear men say things like, "I want a woman who acts like a man." I want a man you never hear men say, I want a soft man. I want a feminine man. And you never hear men say, I want a masculine woman. I'm looking for a masculine woman. You never hear that because it
No,
don't sound right.
they don't.
If I wanted a masculine woman, why wouldn't I just go talk to a masculine dude then? Why wouldn't I just be with a man? You understand
Yep,
what I'm saying? We go to women because that is our direct opposite. That is our yin and yang. That's what our balance is. So that's what we
that's
go to. We go to a woman to be our helpmeet and to be our peace and to be a part of our
yes,
our our home away from the world, our protection away from the world, and be able to collaborate with them. I'm not trying to date nobody who's trying to be just as masculine as I am,
right. Like
because then that becomes a role of trying to dominate. And
mhm.
if I have to dominate you, the next phase of dominating somebody after I get through talking to you is putting hands on you, and that ain't what y'all really want to be a part of.
Nah, not at all. Nobody want that.
Mm-mm.
We don't want to catch no case.
90%, 90 something percent of the people in the world cannot fight. This is just a true to life thing.
That's
90% of the people in the world cannot fight. And if you end up in a situation where you have to fight or fight for your life, what are you going to do about it?
fighting for your life.
Because certain men don't know how to stop. You know, once they turned up like that, they don't stop.
That's another thing. Yes, like some people, once they hit that light on this and they
Once the light
that
comes on, you have
switch.
to wait for yeah, you have to wait for the switch to turn off. And when you don't know when it's going to turn off.
Exactly. But yeah, let's go on a little bit of lighter situation.
Yeah, let's keep it light, you know, because
Let,
we want to
let's wrap this up with this. Since we both got, you got the Bulls championship hat on. I got the Jordan 3 rings
bang
on.
bang bang bang.
Keeping the Bulls. Um, what was your favorite Jordans of all time? Like not maybe not specifically colorway or whatever, but like even numbers. But like I got my favorite top 3 or 4. I could name you.
All
Was
right.
there any like were you a
All
big
right.
Jordan fan back in the
All
day?
right.
Or?
No, let's talk about it. All right. So we already know I used to have a collection of Jordan ones, right? The ones
Mhm.
are one of my big favorites.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of them now, but I may go back to doing that stuff. I used to have the dunks,
Hmm.
and all that. I used to be a big on the dunks and the blazers and everything. I used to have a bunch of stuff, um, for that. But Jordan ones or the Jordan 11s have always been like my favorite shoe. Yeah,
Okay.
that was it. That was that
Nice.
patent leather hat was always just classic to me. It was so classic and clean. Um,
What's crazy is I never had the 11s. Like at least
Never?
never like not the way I bought my own.
Okay.
Every time they would come out, they would always just sell out because everybody had the packages or like the retro ones and like it would just sell out so quick. I'm like, man,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta catch them.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when I was a kid and like I just don't remember that part.
Okay.
Like the ones I remember when I was like 6 or 7, like 7 years old was a and the I have is the white and red cherry 12s. I remember taking care of those every day after school, getting a toothbrush, cleaning the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So 12s is one of my favorites. Sixes. Now those are one like those are my favorite ones because I feel like comfort wise and just like the aesthetic is just fire. And what was
Mm-hmm.
crazy when I first had them in like 6th grade, I thought they was kind of ugly. But my brother's like, "You want some J's?" I'm like, "Them Jordans?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, just because they was Jordan, I'm like, let me get them. And then I remember going to school the next day, and everybody looking at my shoes like, what he got on? Them motherfuckers cold. And just like my
Mm-hmm.
social game just went up a little bit after that. But like sixes is one of my favorites. 12s
The 12, yeah. Can't leave the 12s out. Can't leave the 12s out.
and the nines. The nines low key are comfortable more than you think. And I had like the black and like charcoal and white. I mean, black, charcoal, and red. Those are so fire. But I'll say those are my top three. 11s are up there, even though I never had them, but like aesthetics, how they look wise, they up there. 13s, 14s. I always want some 15s, even though everybody thought they was ugly. I always want some 15s though.
Okay. Yeah, Mike
And
has some decent shoes, man. Some really decent
yeah,
joints.
I mean after like 16, maybe it got a little funky. One of the like maybe like the 19s or 20s was okay, but yeah, the main ones 12s, nines, and sixes.
Yeah.
What's my favorite?
You
I mean,
picked it, you
right?
picked some good ones. 12, yeah, 12,
Hmm.
9, and 6. Yeah, you picked some good ones. Yeah.
I want some twos. The I always get 4 and 5. No, I always between 4 and 5, and then 6 and 7. I always not 6 and 7, 7 and 8. I kind of like get mixed up, but yeah, Jordan's
Them 10s
fire.
was fire too. I'm looking at the
Oh
10s. Them
yeah,
10s was
I
fire
had I
too.
had some powder blue and white tens,
Yeah, them 10s
like
was fire.
2012ish. Those are fire. I tens are fire. It's
Yeah,
just like between them
10s
and the
was fire.
twos, them and the twos don't come out as much as the other ones do. It
Are you
seems
you
like.
was big on the twos? I never
No, no,
did like the twos.
I never had toes, but like
Okay.
those one of the shoes that Jordan didn't wear that much because he had broke his foot. So that's why it never really got that love. I feel like
Oh, and I can't leave.
they
I'm leaving out the eights. The eights was a shoe for
yeah
me too.
eights yeah.
The eights was
I,
fire as
I got tired
well.
of seeing like the aqua joints in high school and stuff though, but eights was fire.
Yeah, they was. They was fire shoes, dope, dope. For people that's wondering, when I got my head down, I'm not falling asleep. I'm looking at my phone. You know what I mean? I'm looking at scores and stuff like that, highlights, because the games are on. We are doing this while the games are on. The Lakers are playing right now against the
Yep.
Jazz and everything. I'm looking at shoes and everything like that. That's all. That's all. Just so nobody says, "Damn, he falling asleep on you, Keep." Fuck no. I'm
Nah,
wide
nah.
awake. I'm wide awake. You know what I mean? Ain't no
Mm-mm.
right. Ain't no sleeping over here. I'll sleep in a couple of hours.
True.
So, but yeah, are we done? You got anything else? Or do we have to talk about any games that's coming up, anything? Anything we need to
Uh,
talk about? Oh
we
no, we got Sunday to do that, right?
yeah, yeah. With
Or
Saturday,
unless there's some basketball games that you want to speak on.
not right now. I mean, the Bulls play tomorrow. We play Trailblazers. Hopefully, we can get to the win. Try to
They got to
get
get that. That's a
yeah.
win,
But
bro. That is a
Trailblazers
win.
ain't no punks either.
I'm not saying
They
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 not, but
game
that's a
too.
win, man.
Yes, it should be a win. I agree. And Kobe should be able to play. Zach Collins might be coming back soon to help us get a little bit more depth. Paul George came back yesterday, a little rusty.
Yeah,
It's
he was like
crazy,
two or
like
nine shooting or something like that.
yeah. So, but I am looking forward to watching Syracuse game this week with
Okay, okay. You watching
Cayenne.
Young Cayenne? You watching?
Yeah,
I'm fire like Cayenne.
yeah. I'm gonna try to watch. I'm gonna try to watch. I'm gonna try to watch a little bit more college basketball this year,
Okay,
especially
okay.
try to catch Cam Boozer play at Duke a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's a couple guys out there to pay attention to out there on the college side, for sure.
yeah. So hopefully, catch them when I can. I don't know if there's any big NBA games this week, but it seems like it's been some good games going on. But we can talk about it another day. As far as that, I feel like there is something else I did remember, but it can hold till next time for sure. Then,
For sure. Rockets Nuggets Friday
ooh, that'll be a game
on Amazon Prime.
I will be watching that. Then I will be going home. Well, actually, I gotta get some drinks
That's an
with
8:30
people.
game.
Okay, then I should be good by then for sure,
Yeah, it's an 8:30 game.
for sure, for sure.
All right then. We gonna stop it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we would thank you for joining us on Full Profits Podcast. This is another Sports Punch with me, Omega. Some people may say Brother O or just O. And the co-host, as always, is Monsieur Keith Too Tall. Brother, appreciate you jumping on there again.
Man, appreciate it. Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
sir. We gonna say it like this. Go Bulls.
Go
Go
Bulls. Let's get it.
Bears.
Bear
Yes,
down.
sir. And there it is. And remember the mission statement when you striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. Always remember that. We done here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a good day, night, evening, whatever it may be. We out of here.
We
Garbage
out of
ass
here, baby.
bears.
Hey, haters gonna hate.